Oh, hey, fam. How are you doing, everybody? Family. Hello, everybody. Hello, Ernie Birdie. Nice to see you. Potato, potato, potato. Hello, Bun Bun and Jex. Nice to see you. Hello, kind of sore, little hearse. Hello. Hello, me. That's me. Hello, Susie. Hello, Britt. Hello, Millie. Hello, AJ. And hello, Tiff. Hello, everyone. It is so good to see you. I don't know if you guys noticed, but in the description of the last video, your dad went a little crazy. Shout outs to the HTX. What ward, girl? Dude, Houston, man. Y'all have been having some crazy news lately. And I told Mosquito, who I haven't seen in a minute, I hope they're okay. I told Mosquito and a couple others, I think Calamity maybe is from that area. Told you guys a while back. I don't even know if you were here, Millie, but we're gonna cover a lot more Houston cases lately because there's a lot going on there. And if the quality sucks, tell me. We had to move the router today, and I'm not, or I should say this morning, I'm not sure if it's gonna be up to snuff, but we'll see. Hello, Jill and Brian. But if you guys saw in the last description of the last video, I've decided I'm gonna start doing this thing when I'm feeling frisky, when I'm feeling up for it, where I'm going to give family descriptions in addition to the topics that we talk about. Hello, Ken. Hello, Glitta. Hello, Adam. You were over at American Nana's? I was too. I was there while I was driving earlier. And God, I love her voice. Like it's so comforting. She's so silly. She makes me laugh. And I also like how she'll say like not a bad curse word and be like, oh, I need to watch my mouth. And it's just so cute. I love her so much. She's so cute. It has been crazy. Houston's been nuts, dude. Houston's been nuts. And did you guys see the Rice University story about that girl? There was a girl murdered on campus. It's so disturbing. Like the shit going on in Texas right now is wild. Hello, Rachel. And that's such a dumb thing to say because it's always wild, but I feel like something is, I don't know. Is Mercury still in Gatorade? I don't know. Bun. But I've been putting what do you call it? In the descriptions, I'm loud and clear. Thank you, Karen Collins. Thank you. I've been putting like family updates. So you might notice that, while in addition to the topics and the subject matter that we discuss, hello, Petty Mason, I'll be randomly throwing information about you guys in the description. For example, I don't know if you saw this, but yeah, she is so great. Isn't her house so soothing? Adam, I know that you've been talking about how depressing true crime can be. Isn't American Nana like a good, what a palate cleanser. Like even when she's giving disturbing information, she finds a way to make it kind of soothing and pleasant. And I think it's her voice, dude. She's just got a great voice. She'd be a good prairie home companion. Hello, Calamity. We just talked about you, honey. Hello, Galen. Hello, Cadaver Mom. Nana's house needs to be branded. Let's make it happen. Adam, I was just, okay, so I've been thinking a lot about you because I feel like you're such an empath, like beyond empath. You're empathetic to your core, son. To your core. You're a sweet, sweet boy. I know that you feel a lot. I know that you things can affect you emotionally. Anybody can feel that way. I'm sure a lot of you guys are in tune with Adam's vibe too. You could get depressed, you need breaks, right? Don't you feel like American Nana came to us at the perfect time for that? I feel like you guys could have a symbiotic relationship where maybe you could hook her up and show her some cool video tricks, and she can provide you with that wind down. I feel like you could be her American grandson. I just think I just love anybody who has a lot of like a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a lot of equipment in their bedroom, just like I do. And I don't mean that like in get your heads out of the gutter, kids. Talking about like she's got like a crafting machine, sewing machines, like an oven, like all this shit in her bedroom. That me too. Me fucking too. I have things in my bedroom. It's like I have a cry cot, I have a waffle maker, I have all this shit in there that's like not plugged in. It's just stacked. And I'm like, where am I going to put this? I just love her so much. Thanks for the heads up, Ernie Birdie. Cindy, I've so missed your face, Cindy. I've missed that big blue sea. How have you been? Millie's head's exploding. Oh no. Clam. Calamity still has her name like that. That's so great. Susie, Mercury Gatorade finished on the 18th. Well, shit. You know what's weird? That was like right before my birthday, and I feel like the day or two before my birthday is when shit started getting better. Maybe there's something to this Mercury and Gatorade. Mookies, what are you doing? What do you do? Oh, you're looking for the toy. I don't know where K Bunz is. I wanted to wait for K Bunz, but I gotta say, thank you guys. First of all, K Bunz sent a box of these indestructible. I know he's fussy because he wants it. Indestructible dog toys. The Mookie's already ripped the foot off, but that's all he can get. He got frustrated with Bird because he's like, I can't kill you. I can't kill you, and you're making me stronger. And he can't handle it. And he loves it now. But I wanted to take it and show you we got the dog toys. Thank you so much. I have to say, maybe your dad's a bit too empathetic because, or what is empath, emotional. I open the box, I see fluffy toys, I just start bawling. I'm like, we don't deserve these toys, Migos. Look at all the toys. This is so perfect for you. And he went fucking nuts. Yes, I got a lot of pictures. When he gets super excited over a toy, ooh, what is that bug? What are you? Are you a wasp? Get out of my house. What are you? What are you? Oh, it's a June bug and it's not even fucking June. What are you doing here? It's not June. It's almost September. I think it's September. It's August. What are you doing here? You're a June bug. You're in the wrong month, brother. All right, whatever. Fuck him. He's in the other room. So, or she. I don't want to gender assume on this bug. I don't want to assume the gender of this bug, of this June bug. Although I will assume month. It's not June. Why are you on my Mick Foley picture? Get off of him. Fine, you can stay there. Okay. He's planted now. Anyway, Mookie's fucking loves toys, and when he gets one and he really loves it, he does stretchies where he puts his paws like this. He yoga stretches. It is the cutest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make this the thumbnail. I have the picture. It's in my phone. I'm going to find them. I'm going to send them all to K Bunz so that she can see. I will post them in our members, or I'll post it on on the whole community post. And I'm going to make it the thumbnail, him stretching over this guy. He's stretching it with the toys around him. It's so cute. He thanks you so much. He's pissed as hell. Do you want this? You want it now? You can have it now. Here you go, honey. Boop. All right. He's got it. He's got it. He says thank you. The Hoogan says snort, snort, and thank you. Hello, Darlene. How are you doing? How are you feeling? Anyway, I miss you guys so much. It's only been 24 hours and I already miss my kids. Did you guys have a good night? Did you have a good day? Did you have a good birthday? Everybody's having birthdays right now. We are all a family and we love you. No, we had all of our birthdays and you received the Holy Trinity pin, so Mercury is fully hydrated. Okay. We basically dumped the Gatorade on Mercury's head like a football game. That's sick. I have. And yes, she's so great. She's talking about Karen Reed and I love it. I know. American Nana, here's the thing about Nanas. Nanas and Mimis don't let shit go. And that is very good in the realm of true crime, especially when there's fuck shittery about. All right. Because they're not going to let that shit go. And that's why I absolutely 100% fucking love American Nana. She's great. We must protect her. It's 5:30 a.m. here. And also, did you see her daughter's soberversary? I almost cried. We've been talking about everybody's having soberversaries now. Oh my gosh. Like, what did she say? 6 years, I think. And you know what it was that made me emotional is that she was just in the middle of a sentence. She did what I did. She stops and goes, oh no. And she just like blacks out for a minute. And at first I was like, is she okay? Like, my big fear is I don't want anyone to have a stroke because of the shit we read, right? So I'm like, what'd she do? What's going on? And then she goes, I saw the date. It's 8:30. Oh no. I thought I forgot my daughter's soberversary. And then I was like, oh, bless her, dude. Bless her heart in the sweetest way. Because seriously, the fact that she was so upset and concerned that she missed her daughter's soberversary shows you how much it means to her. There are people out there, if you're sober, whether they tell you or not, whether they tell you congratulations whether they, express it to you. There are people who look at that date that you're sober and they remember this person I love is still doing good, and they get like that. And you need to know that even if people don't tell you, if you are somebody who is experiencing long-term or short-term sobriety and you're concerned that people don't care, people care. I mean, her daughter wasn't there and you saw how concerned she got. You know what I mean? There are people out there who do that for you, whether you know it or not. It's true. It's 5:30 a.m. here. I woke up to find obese. Sorry, I missed American Anna. You know what? You could go back and rewatch. I encourage everyone to go click like and subscribe. Do you hear the? That's Mookie's playing with the toys. Oh, K Bunz. I can't wait for K Bunz to see. Hello. Greetings from the comfort of my hospital bed. The doctor is not accepting patients tonight. Wait, what? Are you still in the hospital or did you go back in? I thought that your husband was, and then you ended up going in. Are you okay? Doctor on call. Are you okay? It's true. What? What did y'all say? Lies, all lies. No, it's not lies. It's truth. It's truth. Did someone say Prairie Home Companion? You brought that up to me the other day and I was thinking about that. It's been on my mind. I went back and listened to a bunch of Prairie Home Companion. Do you remember, is the old guy on everyone's? Because I feel like the old guy voice, what's his name? He talks like this. I felt like that was just Texas. But is that everywhere on NPR? Because fuck, his voice is so soothing. I miss Click and Clack so much. I think the only voice I don't miss, and I do feel guilty saying this, but I'm just going to say it, is Diane Rehm. Love her to death, but hun, like the last 2 or 3 years on NPR, that was hard to listen to. That was a hard listen. Like, good morning, it's Diane Rehm. I was like, it was a lot. It was like, come on, lady, get it out, get it out. He's super empathetic. I get it. I know. He is. He's got a lot of empathy on his heart, sweet Adam. He's such a sweet boy. Hello, C. Smith. How are you doing? How is Eddie Vedder? Is his smell wafting over the fence? I wonder if Eddie Vedder sits there and goes, damn, my neighbor smells good. Biology, who? All of my family is God-given. Exactly. We pick our family in this bitch. What's up, women doing? What's up, women doing? How you doing? Equipment. I just like that you just said equipment. People are placed in our lives for a reason, for a lifetime or a season. Darlene, we're going to have to start a segment called Wolfisms because you've been dropping fucking heaters, fucking hot bombs lately. Good ones. The pen thing, you guys don't understand. I go through I watch every video. I hate it. I hate watching myself, but I like watching the chat. I like seeing what you're talking about. I like seeing, did I miss something? If any of you are injured or harmed, I make a note and I'm like, we need to contact them and make sure they're okay. I've seen some of you mention like, oh, my generator went out or this one, and I make notes. Let's make notes. Who needs what? What can we do? The last couple of chats, I will sit here and laugh and cry laugh until Dad's boyfriend is like, what are you laughing at? It's so often the last 2 days been your little colloquialisms, your little phrases. Fucking Darlene is killing it, dude. Hide the pen, Darlene. Hide the pen, Darlene. Oh, that made me laugh so hard. And she did 4 callbacks. You could do stand-up comedy and you'd murder. Hello, C. Smith. I live in a van. I slept next to an extra monitor for 2 nights. Oof. And did that guy keep banging on your van? He didn't come back, did he? That motherfucker. Don't bang on Helen. Don't bang on sweet Helen. It's a fucking what is that? It's a fucking June bug. What are they doing here, Tiff? Tiff, you were killing me too. Fucking Tiff and Darlene, if we get you two in a room together, I don't know what's going to happen. Everyone's going to get grounded. Your live served as a TED Talk for me yesterday. I got up straight after your live and started writing to finish my book by deadline. You said something about focusing your energy. Adam, that's the biggest compliment you can get from someone. You made me get off my ass. Do you realize how lazy I am personally? And when I see you kids doing shit out there, I get enthused. And the biggest compliment that I think you can give someone is that they inspire you. You inspired Susie Q. You inspired her. Look at those sweet little, cute little baby Hoogans in her picture. Those sweet little angels. God damn, Susie Q. You got 2 Hoogans? Dude, if I'm ever in your town, I'm bringing my Hoogans. If you're ever in my town, you bring your Hoogans. I want to see 3 Hoogans in a picture together. Big hug, Adam. Big, huge hug. Huge. The biggest hugs. It's the hugest hugs. Cindy says, my favorite brother. I complain about work, but it does give me a break. I know sometimes work is a good way to black out. I'll never change it until you tell me to. Calamity, girl, can you send me your address? I actually have something I would genuinely like to send you. I think I have Ken's. I'm sending him something because he got a question right yesterday. And what he's getting is I'm just going to spoil it. He's going to get a cool postcard that your dad likes to send people who are not from Austin. And you guys are going to notice if you order anything from me, whether it's from the SnoopyDupa shop, which I'm going to put up, and we've got new prints coming out tonight. They're dropping tonight. As soon as this is over, 15, 20 minutes. Let's give me an hour. Give me an hour because I got to go take Michael to pick up his car from a mechanic that is shady as shit. By the way, if your dad isn't back for a week, call the cops because I'm about to take Michael to a mechanic out in the fucking country who has been putting this motherfucker. We'll talk about it later. It's too much. But this guy, shady mechanics piss me off. We're doing SnoopyDupa store tonight. Give me an hour. The new prints are going to be up. I got them in today. I went to the post office box. I got Hoogan's toys from K Bunz. I got my prints in from my buddy who's out of town and sent them from out of town. He went to look at new print. He went to go look at new printing stuff, like a big thing to make like massive posters, like wall size posters. And while he was there, he got to test all this equipment. So he was like, dude, I'm going to be in like the biggest printing kind of press or printer custom. It's a house, I guess. It's this guy's house, and he buys all this equipment. He hand builds some of it, and he sends it out. He mails it. They're friends from high school. He went there. He's like, I'm going to be around all the best printers. I'm going to be around cool shit. I'm going to make posters. I'm going to make all this stuff. And I said, can you just, tell your girlfriend, or maybe you could just make me those prints I sent you a week ago. And he's like, got it within a day, dude. So once he gets the high industrial ones, I'm going to start pimping his business because he's so fast and he's so good at these things. But anyways, we got new prints coming out. One of them is a Don't Hoog on Me. I thought, I know Don't Tread on Me has some history behind it. I like to fuck with it. My favorite is the Bobby Hill, where it's like, don't tread on me, but it's Bobby Hill on the snake. Hilarious. Or that's my purse and it's Bobby Hill on the snake. We got a Don't Hoog on Me with the Hoogan. It's so cute. I'm going to put it up. You're going to see the next couple of videos you're going to see. I'm going to put pictures of the Hoogan up, and I'm going to put some prints up as our thumbnails. But I'm very, very excited. We're going to have that up. And if you guys want, you can go to SnoopyDupa store and buy it. And pretty soon we're going to have posters and stickers coming up. Yes. And then we're going to have shirts. And I want to pick something cool. I'm thinking by then I'm already behind. How did I do this? How did I get behind? I'm already thinking like ahead of time about what I think I'd like to take profits and put them either towards, if Uncle Frank is still down, putting him towards a blip billboard to try and get Uncle Frank a kidney. If you don't know who Uncle Frank is, that's your Aunt Deb's best friend since childhood. She is a nurse in a transplant hospital who spent her life helping people. She got her own transplant and it didn't take, and she needs a kidney. So in order to get her kidney, she needs someone with type O negative blood. Okay, type O negative. There are not a lot of people with that. Your dad went through and researched where the most type O negative blood is by populace, and what blood banks seem to be more well off than the others, which ones are starving for certain blood, which ones aren't. We correlated the data. I think we've actually narrowed it down. Oddly enough, the best place for her to put these billboards would actually be right by where she lives, because white men in their 20s to 50s seem to be, they have the most type O negative blood. The highest amount of blood bank distribution as far as like who donates and where there are hospitals close by to distribute seems to be the Northeast. Texas has a high amount of white males who would carry type O negative blood. However, they're spread out and they have a lower rate of donation. In the Northeast, higher rate of donations, everything, all the different states are closer together, which makes it easier to travel, I think. More hospitals per capita, and simultaneously around the same ratio of white men of that age. So I think that it would be smart to put billboards there. I would like to help fund it in some way. I'm going to talk to Aunt Deb about that if they're still down for that. If that doesn't work out, I'm thinking like maybe find a cold case, or maybe I know there's a couple that maybe could use some billboards or something. You know what I mean? Maybe not billboards, maybe flyers, maybe just some help setting up a website. This is all stuff that it's not going to cost that much. Like I could buy up like 15 domains for like 15 cases that need websites, buy 15 Square accounts, get that all going for probably less than 200. I don't know. Adam, what do you think? How much? How much do you think? I know. Do you fuck with websites? I feel like you do. But either way, I feel like that there's a lot that we could do. And I'm thinking that once merch starts rolling in, because I fucking love merch. I'm like that skit Deb made where it's like, come on, Lally, think of the merch. That's how I am with everything. I love good marketing. But I'm thinking like if we could spin it into something helpful, let's fucking do that. So once all this shit comes in and all that's in the store, whoo, buddy, we're going to start picking cases. I'm going to let you kids vote too. It's up to you because it's you buying the shit. So if you want to pick out what you want it to go to, we'll do that. What do you think of that? Do you think that's stupid? Should I just scrap and buy a Bugatti? What do you think? I can't afford a Bugatti. I don't even know what a Bugatti is. I know it's a car. I don't know what it looks like. It was a typo. It finished on the 28th. Oh, the 28th. Just woke up and have nail extensions. It's what it is. Oh my God. What nail extensions? Oh, so cute. Big fucking bird toy. I know. Big fucking bird. I don't think Mercury and Haterade ever leaves. That's a good point, woman doing. It's a good point. Oh, toys. Mercury is a fucking hater. Bun vibrates when he gets presents. Like he's so stoked. Have you ever seen the dogs that just stare and they don't move like a statue when they get a present? Like they're so stoked. Mookie's gets like, he stands on whatever part of me is nearby. He puts his paws on it and he elevates himself and his eyes get huge and he's like, what the fuck is this? And he starts biting at it. The YT streets are rough. I know. Certified hater woman doing good. Welcome. Gatorade was till the 28th. Okay. Show it. I showed it. Oh, the June bug. He's on the, I can't do it. If I do that, if I turn the camera around, everything's going to fall. I can't do that right now. I'll get a picture of Mr. Junebug. What do you guys want to name the Junebug? Pick out a name for him. You got your MacBook a day early. Also, if you haven't been watching your brother Adam's channel, dude, so talented with the visual stuff. That the thing about you losing weight, I mean, I know I was goofing off a lot in your chat. Your dad was cutting up, but I cried. I was in the car crying. I cry a lot now. Ever since I got to my last couple of head injuries, I cry a lot. But when I saw, like, first of all, Fat Ragnar made me laugh really hard. But also, like, you were such a cutie pie. Even when you were big, I know you were unhealthy and you were unhappy, but I'm telling you, you were the cutest angel. Holy fuck, dude. What a sweetheart. Then you lost all that weight and you look fantastic. You genuinely freaked me out, though, because it was like, he looks like when I saw Brother Ali, he had like a hype man that looked exactly like you and was wearing the same puffy jacket. And I was like, wait, does Adam rap? Somebody drained my fresh ass pool. I'm not okay. What do we have to do? What do we do to get your pool back? What do we do? Who drained it? Go put a hose in it. You have permission. In reverse retrograde, aka Gatorade, communication, relationship, technology, chaos, and fuckery in general was worse for Leos and Virgos this year. Happens again later in the year, sadly. Wait, communication, relationship, and technology. Oh, technology chaos. Oh my God. Get out of my head. The DOB. Hello, YouTube bad actors. What are you going to do when everybody's sweet? I was thinking about that the other day. What are you going to do when everyone gets their shit together and starts acting like a human? You going to be good actors? Yay, Adam. Oh, God. I'm so fucking far behind. Yes, Nana's the sweetest. Aye, y'all, says Lollipop. What if any? Aye. She's so wholesome. She's so sweet. Like anyone who has like crochet, knitting, or sewing machines in the background, trust the process. Trust the product. MacBooks are awesome, Adam. Oh, they scare me. Sobriety is important. It's very important. Oh, that's how far behind I got. Shit, my neighbors almost celebrated their 69th anniversary, but we lost the missus in May. So sad, but he's 90 and I just love them. So it was a happy, heavenly anniversary. God, 69, almost 70. And then they lost her. He lost her in May. Robert, the guy who gave me Mookie's, is 90. He's about to be 91 September 6th. And he tells me his son is in his 70s and lives in Houston. And he's got his wife, right before she passed, her kids found her, or her kid found her off 23andMe because she gave up a baby a long time ago. She found her mom right before she passed away, the mom. And this was Robert's wife. So he took, like, basically his wife's child she gave away a long time ago. He's like, you're my kid now, which is true. I mean, he'd technically be a stepdad, but he's like, nope, you're mine. And he just had his first great granddaughter be born, I believe. So precious. But it's wild because, you know, he told me, he's like, it was hard after. That's why he got Mookie's he had Mookie's in the Chihuahua he had. Pets are so helpful. Does he have a pet? Here's the thing though. Robert's 92 and he's like, I can't take care of them. But he had a nurse next door. Does your guy have any pets or anybody? I'm just glad he has you as a neighbor who cares and you check up. You care about these things. Check up on him. 90-year-olds, they have the best stories. Ask him if he'll come on here and tell us stuff. I have questions. People are living a lot longer now. It's very impressive. The hardest year of my life, right after the 2 hardest years of my life. Well, you know what? The harder your life gets, the easier it's going to be once it's done being hard, right? Can't be hard forever. Put that on a bumper sticker. I do that. It's a great accomplishment and a reason to celebrate. It is, right? Being sober, catching from the start. Hello, Ozzy Mel. Hello, LA. Long weekend. I forgot it was a fucking holiday at all. We're going to try to get through all of this in 30 minutes. I cannot believe 27 minutes has gone by and I'm just chitter chatting with you. 15 years and 4 months, 0 opiates. I just want to know when I could just be me. Like I've been divorced 12 years. When can I check single on forums? First of all, you can always check single. Check single. Check single on forums if that's what you want to fucking do. No one can tell you not to. Second of all, 15 years and 4 months, 0 opiates. That's a big fucking deal. We were just talking about opiates the other day and how difficult that is. You could have been on Kensington nodding out. Instead, you're here. Fucking having a time. Enjoying human beings. Chatting. Taking part in the process of humanity. Contributing even. That's fantastic. That's very hard to do. And Calamity did it. Give this clam a fucking round of applause, everyone. I know it's late. If someone's asleep, don't clap. But just go, yay, clam. Okay, that almost made me cry just reading about it. I know that this is, first of all, you can just be you 24/7. You could have been you back then and you can be you now. The problem is you don't feel like you can when you're on drugs and when you're under the fucking weight of paperwork, a name, an illusion, if you will, because that's what this illusion of like, oh, I am now a divorced, I am now a widow, or all that. This is all it does. That's not who you are. You're our clam. You understand? You're a clam. You're a clam. You're a cat. You're a big feckin' bird. You don't ever have to feel, even though you do sometimes, everybody feels this. You don't ever have to feel like you can't be you the second you kind of come to terms with with like the fact that you're not going to go back to that. You know what I mean? You're not going to make that mistake again. You be the new you. You know what I mean? The old you was the person before you trusted someone and then it didn't work out. The you during that was, you can have a mourning you, a sad you. I'm mourning. Things are rough. I'm rehabilitating. But now you're the new you. So you could be you. You're a little clam. You're a little clam bake. If you get high, you're a clam bake. I'm just kidding. Don't get high. I remember my sister's sober date, 7-3. She was young and dumb. LOL. She's 22 years sober now, right? We remember these things. I say your dad's had his own problems. And you know what? I don't talk about them because they're so far in the past that like, I don't want to think about them. But your dad definitely went through some shit about 20 years ago. And I don't think about it because it was so, like, for me personally, it was such a fucking horrible time, but no one knew I was going through it. I went through it alone and I got through it alone. And I was very lucky to be able to do that. But it's really scary looking at how things are now in the world and how like, oh my fuck, I couldn't do that alone now. I just couldn't. And there are other people who have to. We have to support them. We have to support them. And we have to celebrate when they're doing good. He got his MacBook monitor early. We'll look into Pisces for you. Excellent, excellent. We've got the OSINT going. Hello, Miss Shorty. Hey, Miss Shorty. Is that a roller coaster, Miss Shorty? I was wondering. I think did I put in the description? I have one planned if I didn't yet, but I was like, Miss Shorty came out as tall. I just thought it was funny. I'm sorry. We Care makes me so happy to see winning the sobriety battle and choosing themselves. I know. Like, it's people, if you haven't been through it, it's hard to explain it. But if you've seen someone go through it, you kind of get it. And the people who see you go through it, they're going to remember when you sober up. They're going to remember those changes. And if they're the type of people that belong in your life, they're going to celebrate you. They're going to celebrate what you've overcame. Garrison Keeler, he's yes. I used to NPR all the time at ATX. ATX had the best NPR. When I first moved here, they put Art Bell on at night, and I love that. I don't know if they're even doing that anymore, but yes, I fucking love it here. It's so good. San Antonio has really good NPR too. Not gonna lie, it has great NPR. How's Houston NPR? By the way, other Houston people in the chat, Martian. Like, we got a lot. We got, what do we got? Clam, and then we got someone else up here at the top who I was talking to earlier. Let me take this all the way to the top. Yeah, we got a couple of different Millie. We got a couple of y'all. Okay, I gotta go down. Ernie Birdie says, hey, Lisa. Oh, hi, Miss Shorty. Congratulations, Calamity Jane, right? Lighting here every 10 seconds for an hour. About to storm Ontario, Canada. Ooh, we have lightning storms in ATX. If you look up Austin, Texas lightning storms, holy fucking shit. When I first moved here, it scared your dad so fucking bad. I moved here on the night Ric Flair got his head smashed with a concerto by Edge and Randy Orton when they were a tag team. And it was on a SmackDown. That's all I remember. So I'll look up the date of that. That was the exact night I moved here. I remember walking out at Opal Divines, this restaurant, and looking up. Me and my roommate parked the U-Haul to go get food, get some fries. I look up in the sky. I'm eating hot pepper fries or something. I look up, 50 to 100, like, boo, 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 just bits of lightning and thunder just lit up the sky. It was so crazy. I was like, is this a nuclear war? What is happening? No, it's just weather. It's just Austin weather. I spelled it wrong. It's fine. Oh, I'm still itchy. One of y'all suggested I get a filter on my water because it's making my psoriasis all around my nose, here, my ears, all inside my ear. Everything's fucked up. I ordered one. It was cheap too. It was like $15. So we'll see how that works. And yes, I let the shower head hit me in the fucking face. I let the water hit me in the face. I saw the end of that chat. You kids think your dad's a freak? Well, listen. Of course I go in face first. I want the water to just, you know, get the front of my face. You're all going in ass first. You think you're the best? Don't tell your dad what to do. I'm not crying. You're crying. I know. I'm so happy for him. Such a supportive and close family. He still drives. We almost have his garden clean. I've adopted myself. Dude, and Robert just got 2 ACs in his house. He's fucking bawling. He is pissed off a little though because, well, he's excited because he's 90, you know, and when he goes out, it's like a big thing. He got to go all the way to another city to go have lunch with his great grandkid, right? And then came all the way the fuck back. What pissed him off is he had to wear pants. 90-year-olds don't like wearing pants. He's like, I gotta wear pants. But he did it. He did it. And he was so stoked, dude. I can't wait to hear what happened. Sometimes he says shit and it's like, you can't fucking say that, Robert. Don't say that. And he's like the sweetest guy, but like he's 90. So like I'm very curious. He's like, I'm gonna talk to all the kids. I'm like, oh, what are you gonna tell him? What are you gonna tell him? You're excited about Rex? Let's talk about it. Let's get to the point. Wait, let me see this. Pisces are so oh, I know. Because they're fish. The fish, they're swimming through tears. Did you see Nurse Kim's show tonight? Justice from Molly Bish. Special guest, Heather Bish. It was great. Talking possible cop corruption in that case, hiding something not solved. Whenever I hear Molly, I think about Molly Tibbetts. And I need to look up, because I have heard Molly Bish, but I need to see her face to know what went down. That's how I work. Oh, she was from Worcester. Yes, I do know this case. Wait, they're looking at new evidence. She was the lifeguard. Oh, wow. Okay. This is interesting. This is very Maura Murray. This was pre-Maura. Do you remember when Maura Murray, it became a big thing? Like a big thing to where everybody was like, people were getting in fights. It was like Karen Reed shit. This was kind of before that on Web Sleuths, like when Web Sleuths was getting like bigger. This was like when it popped. Maura Murray was when it fucking exploded. I'm so glad this case is getting more. 24 years. Yeah. This is fascinating. I'm glad this is getting more attention. It needs it. There's a lot of cases up there that are going to get new looks depending. Fucking June bug. It's not June. That are going to get attention now because of this. In a way, Karen, you know how they say Shannon Gilbert, how they're like, if it wasn't for Shannon, none of these girls would have been found and we wouldn't have Rex. Absolutely true. They might have found him later, but like as far as getting a heads up and we wouldn't have Rex now, absolutely true. Shannon saved those families from more grief, right? She helped solve her own case. I truly feel that Karen is going to be the catalyst for a lot of justice, regardless of what happens to her. I do believe her case is going to end up leading to a lot of other corrupt issues in cases being exposed, which could lead to closure, which I hate saying, but I mean closure of the cases, not like emotional closure. I think Karen could be, in this instance, is not the same crime, but she could be like the Shannon for Boston. I loved your live today and I figured out memberships, Miss Shorty, says Calamity. It's all about the desktop version on the iPhone. Okay, this is great advice. Desktop version on iPhone, you guys. Remember that when people are like, how do I join? Pat, what's up, you potato cat? Hello, pet. Hello, BBS. What's that song stuck in my head now? Is it G-Eazy? Oh. G-Eazy, is that, what's that song with? Oh, fuck. Hold on. I'm trying to remember. This is going to be, I'm not going to be able to continue if I don't remember it. It's fuck with me and make some money. What is that song? Fuck her around and make some money. I don't remember. Something like that. He's actually got a really good voice, but he cheated on that girl and everyone got mad. Don't bang Helen, period. Don't bang on her. Don't bang her. Don't bang her on her, period. All of it. Yes, absolutely. My siblings are some of the most hilarious people. Comes from dad's side. Yes, absolutely. Not your bitch mom. No, just a life experience and biblical knowledge. Oh, excellent. I like to inspire people, but I don't like the recognition. I come from Freemasons. Isn't it wild how like people are like, oh my God, they're a Freemason in a crime case? And like, I don't think I've ever seen a case where like it was like the Freemasons killed someone. Like, at least not in modern times. Like, I don't know where this whole conspiracy that the Masons did everything comes from. Just like the Bohemian Grove shit. It's so silly. We'll talk about that sometimes. Sometime, I should say. The Bohemian Grove shit is pretty hilarious. I know people used to work with Alex Jones. He lives here. I used to wait on him. If you don't know, if you're new to the channel, I've talked about this before. He's a psycho, allegedly, in my opinion. He really is, like, he's got a severe drinking problem. I would never trust anything he says. His wife helped him start the channel, InfoWars, or the whole station, the whole thing. And he ended up, basically, he was very abusive, and he would drink and drive, and then he would go home and beat his wife and attack his kids. He's very crazy. Now, the kids are in denial, kind of. The son just wanted a tank, I think, in my opinion. And yeah, it's pretty crazy because the wife, like, she helped start it all. Then when he started trafficking, or not trafficking, what's the word? Pimping this whole, like, Sandy Hook is fake, and just getting hurtful to people and causing real serious problems and causing people and families to get harassed. That's when she was like, man, fuck this, and bailed out, right? So she contacted me and was like, you were his waitress. Can you come to court and talk about how he would drunk drive? I can't. Like, I couldn't do it at the time. It had been over a decade. You know what I mean? I'd been tossed out immediately. But he did. He used to just chug so much booze and get fucking wasted and scream about Bohemian Grove and the Cheesecake Factory. It was fucking embarrassing, dude. It was embarrassing. He was a psycho, dude. He said horrible things about people. He's such a bad dude. And in my opinion, allegedly, like, the worst human being. Seriously, fuck him. Fuck him. Didn't tip well, mean to wait staff, obsessive compulsive as fuck, major alcoholic, very aggressive, bad driver. And if you called the cops on him, it didn't matter. Like, they wouldn't do shit. So anyway, that motherfucker couldn't fucking handle him. Couldn't fucking handle him a bit. He's just such a bad guy. When the Bohemian Grove shit came out, I knew people who had worked for him. That whole thing, like, it was, people were talking, people told your dad who worked for him about how he knew damn well that there was not sacrifice or any of that shit going on down there, that's not what that was. But he made it out to be that, knowing that's not what it was. Like, that they had plenty of information that it was basically like, it's kind of a rich people cosplay situation that's kind of dumb, but it has a lot to do with, I don't know how to explain it. It's basically like it's almost like Renaissance fair for rich people. It's just dumb shit. Almost like Eyes Wide Shut minus the sex. It's weird, but it's something that's done that really doesn't involve as many people as he likes to include. And he knew this, and they offered him a program, and he could have joined in. He could have paid for it like anybody can. And he made it out to be this restrictive Illuminati thing, and made it out to be like an actual human sacrifice in the woods. And people bought that shit. And he had them edit out parts of the video that legit explained what was going on. And he crept around in the woods and was like, oh, what the fuck is going on? And they knew he was there, and they were like, dude, could you quit doing that? Like, it was just, he was basically annoying everyone. So we'll talk about that one day. I'll show you what Bohemian Grove really is. It's kind of stupid. Like, it's kind of like, it's certainly not anything that people think it is. It's really dumb. It's like, you may as well be screaming about Disney on Ice. Like, it's just dumb. It really is. We'll talk about that one day. I hate conspiracies, but I do like debunking them. All right, everyone. Let's see. We'll do one more catch up, and then we're going to get to the point, because we're going to talk about some rec stuff today that's interesting, and I have questions. Okay. Let's see. Daisy Live Love says potato, potato. Hello, Daisy. Hello. Yeah, he is cray cray. He's very cray cray. Cardi B is on it with A$AP Rocky. Yes, absolutely. Fuck with me and get some money. That's the line. And she has that, she comes out and she's in like a military themed jumpsuit, and she's just like twerking. And then there's like everybody around her twerking. And then G-Eazy comes out and he's like, fuck with me and get some money. I love that live performance. It's so good. Okay, moving on. Tiff, Dillhole's here. Dillhole. How are you doing? You pooped today. I'm very proud. Very, very proud. All right, we're going to move on. Elizabeth. Oh, Calamity. I did it all young. I call it a successful marriage. Great 18-year run. But after it, me, dummy, got back with high school boyfriend that you never forget. 4 good years, 10 no fun. Still with him. LOL. Damn it. God damn it. See, you kids are hilarious. He's married to Blair White now. Who's that? I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know. Probably someone gross. I've heard this from many people. I met Paul Mooney once doing comedy. And yeah, believe it or not, fucking loved him. Fucking loved Richard. Like everybody loved, well, of course, but everybody loved Richard Pryor. Heard nothing but good things. Nothing but good things in comedy about him. Old guys being silly. I say that in the nicest of ways. He's a great guy, but not my match. Now I'm stuck and need to leave, but feel bad. Life gets in the way. My weight is icky. 1 foot out the door and it stinks. He's clueless too. Hey, you know what? Band-Aids, tear them off, dude. It's the best way to do it. Just tear them off. When you're ready, fucking dip. You know? And say that. Just be honest. We're not vibing. I know you think we're vibing, but I'm not happy. And there's nothing that you can really do to make me happy. Right? If that's true. If there are things he can do to make you happy and refurbish it, flip that house, so to speak. Lay it out. Guys need to be told. Not all guys are dead. So you've got introverts and introspective people who like think a lot and are very emotional, and they do have feelings and they don't know how to put them out. There's people who feel like they can't talk to you or they'll get in trouble, right? Because I know me, I can be fucking controlling and loud and crazy. And even though I have not projected that upon someone in an abusive manner, I can see how they might think I would, right? So I think that if you're honest and you just lay it out, here's what we need to do to fix it. Exactly. This is me telling you. This is it. This is me telling you what needs to be done. If we don't do it, probably going to have to end this shit soon, right? Lay that shit out. Give him another chance. Although, if you know it's over and you don't want another chance and there's nothing to do to fix it, when you're ready, rip that Band-Aid off. It's not you, it's me, bro. You know? C. Smith. Right? Right. Absolutely. I just think that, life's too short. Be happy. Do things that make you happy unless they hurt others. Don't threaten me with a good time in the woods. You wooded children. I don't know you. Kick, kick, kick. My dad tore a Band-Aid off my little sister once, telling her that it would be the least painful way. It ripped her skin off. God damn it, witch. You're not helping Dad's metaphor. You're grounded. Go to your room. You are that kid, though, at the dinner table that they're like, just do this, it won't hurt. And then you're like, it hurt when I did it. And it's like, shut the fuck up. I mean, shit, it might hurt. It might hurt. You might get some skin ripped off. But you know what? That shit heals. Hey, remember why it's okay to snitch? Because stitches heal and they come out eventually. Same with your skin. It'll grow back. I did it after 25 years, Cindy says. Good. That's hard. Been there, done that. I feel so blessed and accepted here. You are accepted. We accept you. Let's talk about yesterday briefly, though. Yeah, what's a little skin? It's just a little skin off my back. Let's talk about yesterday. One of our members got kicked the fuck out. I'm sorry. It had to happen. And I felt bad a little bit because I had said, look, you can feel what you want. I don't care what you are politically. I don't care like what you believe in. Like, as long as you're nice to everyone, we all get along. It's fine. But if you cause problems, if you're going to get piggied, it's Lord of the Flies. We're piggied. One of you made a piggy comment that made me laugh so fucking hard. Like something like you're about a piggyism or something. It made me laugh. Yeah. Another sibling gone, but you know what? This was one of them. We had to leave him at the Grand Canyon and drive away. We had to go dirt him because honestly, like it was too much. It was too much and they were new anyway. Fairly new. Yeah, I clutched my imaginary, but I was like, oh, fuck this kid. Sometimes, with a family, we're all going to be accepting of people to an extent. We have to remember this family thing. It's a fun metaphor. We're kayfabe. We're in wrestling mode. We're kayfabe. It's a storyline. We're enjoying ourselves. We're having fun. We're frolicking, hypothetically, and we're enjoying ourselves from afar. This is something that people did as a coping mechanism during COVID, but we do it for fun because we enjoyed it. But when somebody comes in here, again, I really don't care. If you like Trump, fine. If you like fucking Biden, fine. If you like Kamala, fine. By the way, I'll tell you a funny Kamala story later. It's going to make you laugh. But, I don't give a fuck. You could still want Barack. Look, Mookie's like, when I go, Barack Obama, he still does this. I'll put a picture of it up. Some of you might fucking like Reagan. I don't know. I don't know. Some people are not okay with that. They're like, no, this person's Hitler. We can't like them. Okay, fine. But look, I know people who like all sorts of different sides, and they're not hateful, and they're not mean, and they're good to people, and we all get along fine. So that shows me it can be done. Just like when we see a serial killer who had a rough childhood, it's like you see all these people go, oh, well, I had a rough childhood and I'm not out here hacking brains out, right? Same situation. You can be Republican, Democrat, middle, in between, far off. Well, maybe not far right or far left. I actually find those both very annoying. But you know what I mean? You could be in the zeitgeist without being a fucking psycho, without being rude or mean. Okay? It's totally true. You can. You can even like rude or mean people, and that doesn't make you a rude or mean person. For example, I have a love-hate with Nancy Grace. I hate the way she talks sometimes and the way she is as a human, but I also love the way she is as a human and the way she talks sometimes. I don't know what's wrong with me. I find her very fascinating. I like it when she goes off on someone who deserves it. I don't like it when she victim shames. She hasn't done that in a while, though. But she makes it about the twins, but in a way I've kind of flipped it and found it endearing. Like I kind of expect it, and if I don't, I get upset, right? So there's a whole spectrum of things we can like and we can hate and whatever. That's fine. But when you're saying mean or hateful things, I told you guys, you all get one, unless it's extreme. When you're doing it every single time, when you're repeating yourself over and over and over and over again about that hateful thing, it's like, why are you here? Are you a bot? Are you just here to sow dissent? Like, what's your problem? Like, why are you doing this? We had someone who would participate in chat, Clark. She was awesome. And then one day, she pops in here and she starts talking about illegals. And we had a discussion, and Daniel and Hudson and a bunch of you guys, we shared our thoughts on things like this phrase, the terminology. Some people said it should be undocumented. Some people said illegal is hateful. Some people said humans can't be illegal. Some people agreed and disagreed with that. And then other people explained, like, we had one person who was like, hey, I got my visa legally. I expect other people to. And then other people who were like, some of my family's illegal. I've told you, I got best friends who are illegal. I'm telling you 100%. We all had this discussion without being hateful to each other, right? Daniel laid it out. This is why it's a problem, and this is why people find it offensive. Now, your dad's all about freedom of speech. We can use whatever words we want, but at the same time, we don't want to be we don't want to be overly extreme. We don't want to be fucking crazy to the point where we're just hurting people willy-nilly and being mean. Everything that's mean, it should be funnier than it is mean. If you're going to say it on this channel, we talked about that, right? Long story short, it became very clear. And even your dad had a moment where, because I was just reading what they were saying when I said illegals, but I'm sitting there going, okay, well, let's talk about this. Why do we think this? Why is this offensive? Okay, now that it's out there, then what can we say instead? We talked about this. Everybody got through it fine. People who are on both sides of the aisle, everybody got through it fine. One person decided to carry that shit over. And not only carry that shit over, but I swear to God, every chat I was having to delete like 4 or 5 things she'd say about, like, the illegals took my fucking job. Like, just crazy shit about how, like, this is all the illegals are murdering people, or maybe an illegal did it, like, just over and over. And it's like, at what point are you not going to fucking learn? You know what I mean? Like, at what point are we going to stop and realize, no, the illegals didn't, that's not why the McRib is gone. It's gone because it comes back once a year, bitch. Okay? It comes back once a year. It's only around for a few months. The illegals didn't take your fucking McRib. The illegals, okay, aren't sitting here in chat annoying the fuck out of me and derailing everything. I cannot handle when somebody continues to put their political woes upon us when we're not even talking about that. And it's extra fucking rude when we're talking about the murder of a child or about a victim or a serious story. And somebody comes in here screaming about how Mexicans are taking their jobs. And I'm sitting here going, no, they're not. No, they're fucking not. Aren't you Australia? Like, what are you talking about, bitch? Like, this shit, it was too much. And I kicked them. I kicked her. I said, get the fuck out. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of every single day hearing you complain about people who are fleeing a horrific situation. And while I understand that there are some that are coming over and committing crimes, hence the case that we saw in Houston, yes, that shit happens. They do commit crimes. People do commit crimes. But to sit here and blame it, I mean, even statistically speaking, it's less than 0.01%. Like they're not, it's not, it shouldn't even be in the conversation really. But it's highlighted in the news, and that's why people freak out over it. And she was freaking out over it, and I didn't like it. I didn't like it because, I mean, really, if we're come here, honey. See, he's now Mookie's is pissed. Now Mookie's is pissed. You know, like if you're gonna be hateful and say that most of these people are committing crime, like at least have a valid statistic. At least be right. Not right. It's just not right. So you're wrong, you're lying, and you're wasting our time, and you're derailing us, and you're being hateful. It's too much. And when it happens repeatedly, no, you're fucking out. I don't care. Listen, we just taught her how to do a membership. We went through all that so that she could fucking harass us. No, that's not going to happen. Not today. Not to my children, not today. Okay? Yeah, it's too much ugly. It's too much. And it really pisses me off because I know she's not from, like, first of all, I live like 3 hours from the fucking border. When you got someone across the other side of the world telling you what the border problems are right where you live, it's like, go fuck off. Go fuck yourself. You don't know what you're talking about. This is probably how people in Boston fucking feel about all of us talking about Boston. I don't know. That's more funny than mean, in my opinion. She lives in Arizona after leaving Oregon because of meth heads, I bet. Was it Arizona? I mean, if it's Arizona, you know, at least give me a good statistic. Then you should know, right? But this Joe Arpaio shit isn't going to fucking fly here. I don't like that guy. He's a dickhead. Let's go on to Rex. All right. Why am I ranting almost every night? I know. It's because I'm a dad. Mookie's is undocumented. Don't say things about undocumented workers because Mookie's is undocumented. Yeah, she did want to stir shit up. I just don't want you kids to think that you're all disposable, because I think that's what upset me. Is like, now the kids are going to think I'm just going to do this to any fucking random one of them. I'm not going to do that to you kids. If you pull a Clar, I might. You might be bye. Let's talk killers. So, after discussing Richard last night, I'm only here to talk politics. Also, I heard that there would be punch and pie. JB is cool. JB fucking rules. Also, what do you want to who are you voting for, Dillholt? No, I'm just kidding. We're not going to do that. It is funny to make fun of it. My son's best friend came to the U.S. with his family from Mexico at 12 months old. He's a wonderful and educated humor who works very hard every day. I consider him part of his family. Dude, literally some of my best friends are undocumented. They were brought here. One of them I haven't seen in a while, but two of them literally couldn't get into college because they found out. That's how they found out. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, they had there's a crazy Russian spy story I'll tell you guys sometime. I've touched on it in the past. I think we may have even talked about it, but about these kids whose parents were Russian spies and they got found out, and the kids didn't even know. They didn't know. And they were born here in America, brought up here in America, and then they were deported to Russia, and they don't speak Russian, and they had no idea their parents were spies. Sucks to be them, but also it was just two of them, right? Now imagine thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands. Like, that's a problem. You can't just do that to people. You can't just ship them back when they don't know. At least that's how I feel. Other people may feel differently, but I feel like we got plenty of fucking space. When Ted Turner's buying up hundreds of thousands of acres of land, to raise some fucking freak meat called beefalo. I think we have room. Just my thoughts. Mookie's real name is Mikos. Hoogan is Mookie's. He's Mikos. He's Triple H. He's Hot Ham Hoogan, which is Triple H. He's the Mikies. He's the Hoogs. You know what I mean? He's everything. And he is undocumented. Don't tell the police. I loved how you said, bye. I was like, bye, bitch. Get out. I grew up 10 minutes away from the border. I got no tolerance for haters like that. Glad you booted it, right? The border fucking rules, by the way. It's not that spooky dooky. The shit that you see is very special occasions, if you will, and it's other places, and it's not even the way that the news pisses me off, dude. Sometimes they portray shit differently than what we're looking at down here, and it's like fucking wild. When someone doesn't have an understanding of why somebody may be undocumented and doesn't take the time to understand their story, they're the problem. Exactly. Love me some Mexicans, says C. Smith. The undocumented documentary on Netflix is pretty good. That is a fucking lot to take in. That line, the undocumented documentary. A double doc. Hoogan is Mookie's. But those might be. Yeah, it's just Mikos de Gallo is his full legit legal name. I have a simple thought in my life. Be kind. Exactly. If you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. It is a parent fail. It's a parent fail. And then to blame the kids. The fuck? You saw the movie about that, and that's all true. And do you remember Peter Strzok and Lisa, the lawyer and the guy from the FBI, I want to say, who he was on trial during the whole, well, it's not political. It's just true. He was on trial during the whole Trump thing, like when they were arguing about Trump and Hillary and whether or not, homeboy, not Robert Mueller, the other one, the hot one, whether the guy from the FBI was allowed to investigate. And then he announced something about there was an investigation into Hillary and then there wasn't. And they brought up Peter Strzok to testify. That was the guy, Peter, was the guy who busted all the Russians who they made that show The Americans on. That's based on him. That's his bust. And that includes the parents of those kids. It's crazy, right? Why are people so horrible? It's not hard to smile and be nice to each other. Fuck, we're all humans. I love all of you, my beautiful family. Exactly. Let's just all be nice to each other. Okay, so let's do this. Technically, most of us in the U.S. should be considered. Exactly. What would the natives say? I saw that story in the news and they were greeted by Putin, if I remember correctly. Yeah, that's insane. And they were greeted by Putin and then immediately like disappeared. Like, I don't even know if they found them again yet. I don't know what's happening because those people, by the way, their parents were like indoctrinated heavily since birth, you guys, into the Kremlin mentality. When they start you out, it's like Michaels and what's that shit? Blades of Glory. Remember how he starts John Heater as a young kid, fucking ice skating on a fucking treadmill, and he's like 3. Like, that's what they do there for people in the Kremlin, for their version of the Secret Service. And these spies were born into this. They were born from the day they were born. You will be a spy for the Russians. That's how much they invested in these motherfuckers. And these are the ones who were sending all their messages encrypted in pixels that create flower that are within the picture of a flower. So someone took a picture of flowers, right? Of rhododendrons and shit like that. Encrypted in the pixels were words. And these photos were made into calendars, flower photo calendars. That's how they communicated with each other. That's how deep this shit went. Their own children who were adults had no fucking clue. So chances are they had to go in the back and have a word with them. That's terrifying, dude. That's fucking terrifying. I can't imagine. Could you imagine? Like, really think about this, right? Really think about this because this is crazy. The serial killer that grew up with Putin, I've heard of this. I don't know the story. I would love to, Galen. Tell me more. Can you call in and tell us, Galen? Would you call in? We'll do call-ins for a little bit tonight till Dad's boyfriend gets home. But after I tell you some cool shit, I'm going to start this because I want to look it up. So yeah, basically, yeah, KGB is literally Scientology, but smart. That is a great way to put it. They literally have a fucking ship that they'll put you on too and fucking get rid of you. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. It really is crazy. Kraken. WD-40. I heard Hoogan likes his tequila. No, he does not drink. The Hoogan cannot drink. He can't. He can't, or he gets crazy. Do I think there's a serial killer in Austin? No, absolutely not. In fact, I think, well, okay, that's actually a trick question. Because I do, but it's not the river guy killing. It's not people killing people at the river. That's not what that is. It has the Rainy Street River. It's all bullshit. We had a lot of bodies pop up after we get, like, imagine a place like an ocean, anywhere with a lake, anywhere with water. Look up how many drownings you have a year, right? Just find a popular spot in your town, in your local area. Look it up. See how many people drown. That is literally what's going on. Now imagine you never find them. And then they start popping up years later as the water lowers and rises. That's what's happening. We've also got people who are killing themselves and doing it on purpose and leaving notes. And then they're going in the fucking water. And then there was one guy who shot himself, didn't die, and then walked into the water with the gun. There are people who OD and then they take drugs and they go swimming. This is pretty common. It's the news that's highlighting it and then calling it a serial killer that's making it a problem. A whole bulk of the ones, almost all of them that have come from Rainy, other than the suicides, have been dudes going to take a piss and just falling. Yeah, I know I'm all over the place tonight, Dilhole. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm trying my best. It's just I have a lot to say. Yeah, we're actually gonna. So we did one where we went down to the bridge. If you haven't seen it yet, Calamity, if you go to my videos, not the lives, but the videos, I think the last one, it's all like pink and blue and stuff. I took you to the bridge where people were following it. Now there's multiple spots where that happens, but we're gonna go visit them all. We're gonna go to the lake. We're gonna have a fucking field trip. But that was the first part. Now it's just a quick drive from 6th Street to that, so you can see how quick it is. It's 2 minutes to walk there. And it's pitch black at night, and I show you the entryways to get down there. So that's one of multiple spots. So we're going to go through all of those. And then I'm going to put them all together in a series. That one, I do think I'm going to actually have a professional camera with me so that I can show you everything. Okay, here's what we're going to do. What is this? Lake Ronkonkoma. It's bottomless lake, and the bodies are usually men and end up in... I'm starting this too because I've heard of that too. And there's also the place where Toy Box Killer, where David Parker Ray, there was a big water source. I think it was a lake, or no, it wasn't a river. It was a lake, like right behind him in the desert. And that's where I believe some bodies were, but they need to drain it and they need to look for it, and they haven't. And there's definitely bodies in there of women who are missing because of that motherfucker. Yeah, bottomless does sound like free refills. Or you take your pants off and have a margarita. That's fun. Okay. Here's what I want to tell you. So last night, we're getting to the point. It's been an hour and 8 minutes. We're going to do it. I should separate these and make 2 different videos, and I might start doing that to where the point is its own video, but you can watch it all together if you want. Yeah, it is creepy, a bottomless lake. Ronkonkoma. Okay. Ronkonkoma. Hoogan, we're going to rename you Ronkonkoma. Okay. Cream of wheat, is it porridge? No, it's cream of wheat. Cream of wheat. It's not porridge, right? Is it? If the 3 Bears went psycho over cream of wheat, I'm going to be pissed. Okay. So, after we talked Richard Allen and the jails, and I still got some more to show you on that. We might do that today. But for now, I want to show you this, because after we talked about that, I got a couple of emails from you saying, hey, that was pretty cool. You know, some of you thought the jail sucked and it looked way worse than you thought. Some of you thought the jail looked great, or prison, if you will. Some of you really enjoyed seeing all the different perspectives. Even down to we got really deep. We even got down to like, this is how they pimp the lighting and sell a jail, like sell a prison. This is how the industrial complex works. we didn't get to some of the ones I wanted to show you that I'd like to compile better, but if we can get to them tonight, like stuff like where inmates have snuck phones in and they're showing you more of that. I would like to see more of that. But you guys really liked that. And almost every email I got about that since last night to today has been, what about Rex? Can you do Rex next? Already thought about this, kids. We're going to do that right now. Now, I don't have a ton on Riverhead pulled up. It's kind of a last minute thing, but since you asked for it, I'm going to show you the Riverhead Correctional Facility. Now, I do know that I would highly recommend, as always, Duty Ron. He does talk to a lot of prison guards and guys who work in prison, ex-COs, stuff like that. He's spoken to them on his channel about everything in the context of Rex, how it all works. I think one of the guys might have been from New York and one of them might have been from Texas, even maybe Beeville. I wonder if he knows some of my family. Anyway, he had people like that on where they were discussing prison, what the inmates do on a daily basis, how it works. A lot of us have seen life after lockup, all that shit, right? I would like to, and I'm working on getting a hold of someone who actually worked in Riverhead for a decade. He now owns a comedy club up there. I met him at one of my jobs and at a comedy festival, and we talked I'll be honest with you, there was like a famous, like a really famous it was Roseanne, Juggalo, I think it was Violent J, and I think Dr. Drew, and then like a couple other dudes at Skankfest, like on stage, literally feet from us performing. We should have been watching them. It was like a very rare moment. Like, oh my God, a Juggalo's meeting Roseanne. That is two parts of my zeitgeist, my whole life combined. That is what it's like when worlds collide. That is what it's like that. I should have been paying attention and watching that. I was having so much fun talking to the guy who used to work at Riverhead about Rex backstage that I just missed it all. I missed it all. I sat backstage and I talked to this guy because he was like, oh, I used to work there and he owns a comedy club. And I'm like, dude, I want to get him on this channel to talk about it. He can tell you everything about where Rex is kept, what the guards are like, all that stuff. But he did recommend a couple of things for me to look at. Like he was like, you should look into videos of the correctional facility. You should look into Riverhead. You should look into this, that, the other. So that's what, by the way, Darlene, do you know everybody in the chat? Do you notice everyone has an Uncle Bob? I have an Uncle Bob. Dad's boyfriend has an Uncle Bob. Everyone I know has a fucking Uncle Bob. And we always got good stories from Uncle Bob too. Wild. I thought you say it wrong kong coma. Accent on the Kong. Wrong kong coma. Wrong kong coma. Oh, that's so fucking hard. I'm gonna call it Lake Ronk. My mind wandered back. So here's what we're gonna do. Hello, Web Toy. You're new here. Nice to see you. I like your picture. We're gonna show you inhumane prison life in Suffolk County. Riverhead did something to me. It's from the NYCLU channel. I'm going to subscribe right now because thank you for the content. And I'm going to share it with you guys. I am working on getting some footage compiled of this, of Riverhead, of Suffolk, people who have spent time there. We're going to skip Rikers. We'll get to that later. It's not really part of this, but Rikers has a lot of issues. Again, that's like a jail, but we're not going to go into like all New York. We're just going to talk about Riverhead because I do believe that's where Rex is being held, right? We'll do that first. I'm going to show you this video, and then we're going to talk about something that I noticed in a Mary Murphy article, who we love and trust, who has been historically accurate. All right. She's been doing a great job. And I think it's very important. I think it's going to expand the investigation for Rex. I'm sure it already has, but I'm saying for us, right? Now we've got something kind of new to look into. I will probably message a couple of people who are really big on this case I mean, I'm sure Mary's already noticed it. She wrote it, but maybe catching Lisk, maybe you kids who are into this. I might actually, I'll hit up Duty Ron because I'm sure he's seen it, but I don't know if he noticed what I noticed. Let's see what he thinks about it too. And maybe Melanie, I'm sure she'll have some thoughts on it. So yeah, I'm going to show you something after we watch this video of where Rex is. This is where he's staying. I want you to see this one person who is an ex-inmate talk about what it's like in Riverhead. Now, the purpose of this, it's never to say like, you know, oh, just so you know, this is how much he's suffering and people in jail deserve to suffer or otherwise, you know, this is how easy he has. It's not like that. Like, it's like the other one. We're just looking at it. How you feel about it. You could be happy. You could be sad. You could think it needs to be better or worse. That's fine. We're not pushing an agenda here. I'm just showing you what you think about it is up to you. Okay. Now, I did notice the horrific fucking echo. It is so much worse. You guys said you could live with it. I do not know how. I don't know how you got through that. It pissed me off. I was so furious when I heard. I was like, I would be so pissed if I was watching a video and they made me fucking listen to this shit. I'm so sorry. I'm going to play this. I can't hear what you hear though. So I'm going to play it. We're going to go 15 seconds and I'm going to check the comments. If it is echoing again, please put a 1 in the chat or say echo. Okay. And Daisy, good to see you, hun. We need to get you to call in. Are you available? Because I'm very curious what you think about it. I see that you're telling us about it, but I'd like to, if you want to talk about it, I'd love to hear. So let me know if you need a link and I'll put one in if you want to call in. Okay. All right, let's check this out. I want to show you this. If you hear an echo, or I know, dude, I was waiting for someone to say it. Yes, Duty Ron's wife is smoking, dude. I can't figure out what actress she looks like. She looks like an actress, like a character actress, and I can't figure out who. Gorgeous woman. She's the best. She's the best. Okay, no echo for it. No, but when I play the video, I'm about to play it right now. When it starts, if you hear an echo, put it in the chat or just hit 1, okay? And then I'm going to stop it, okay? Here we go.
You know, ever since I got out.
Wait, let me share the screen first. All right. Good night to me, though. Ooh, I don't have news on Duty Ron socks. I will ask, though. All right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to share this tab. All right, let's see what happens. And let me actually take this banner down. I don't need this up. What is happening? There we go. All right, I'm going to hit play. 1's in the chat or hit echo if you hear an echo, okay?
I'm distraught a little bit. You know, I really don't know what to do. I kind of went through a lot. Like, I've never been through that before, what I went through in the Suffolk County Correctional Facility. So I'm really not living life. And this is like, as real as it can get. Like, Riverhead did something to me. For the 2 months out.
Okay, so it is echoing. Why the fuck is it doing this? All right, let's figure this out now because I cannot fucking handle this. I'm sorry, this is going to take like 2 minutes. I don't know why it's doing this. It's pissing me off. All right, let's try this. I'm in my audio. I don't know why it's... Okay, let's do this. I'm just going to put it on. All right, let's see if this works. I don't have it open in more than one tab. Okay. It sounds great. No echo for you. It's not nearly as bad. I mean, y'all said that yesterday. It was fucking terrible. I don't want to put you kids through that. If you're being nice, don't be nice. Tell me straight up. If it fucking rips ass, tell me it rips ass. Okay. Here we go. Let's try it again. Let's see.
I was in our Riverhead. We went through horrible prison conditions. My name is Jason Porter. I was in there for a misdemeanor. They don't realize you're a human being. They don't care if you're to them, you're not a human being. They see you like an animal.
Okay, is it genuinely better? Like, is the echo gone? Okay, it's perfect now. Okay, so Miss Shorty, just so you know, when you go to your audio settings, if it was doing that to you, they must have changed something. that something changed because my settings were the same. I never changed them. I even had them written down. Now it makes an echo. I noticed there have been changes in the platform. And it seems that when you go to settings and you go to audio, you have to go under speaker and you have to put it on communications. That's the way that you get rid of the echo. You can't just put it on a default. Okay. So if you guys make videos and you're noticing this new echo, I'm noticing on the audio tab under speaker, there's now 4 different spots. It's your internal display, your speakers, communications, and default, which is also set to speakers. If you have it on default or speakers, it's going to echo. If you put it on communications, for some reason, it doesn't. Yeah, it was from one of your guests. Okay. This is wild to me. They did update some shit. You haven't checked it out, Adam? It's wild. I'm gonna put a screen. I'll send you a screenshot of it or something because it's weird. It's really weird. Okay, let's see what's going on here. I'm gonna start at the beginning again. If it echoes and you've changed your mind, you're like, no, wait, it's echoing again. Just hit 1. All right, because we need to figure this out. This is pissing me off.
You know, ever since I got out, I'm distraught a little bit. You know, I really don't know what to do. I kind of went through a lot. Like, I've never been through that before, what I went through in the Suffolk County Correctional Facility. So I'm really not living life. And this is like as real as it can get. Like, Riverhead did something to me. For the 2 months I was in our Riverhead, we went through horrible prison conditions. My name is Jason Porter. I was in there for a misdemeanor. They don't realize you're a human being. They don't care if you're to them, you're not a human being. They see you like an animal because you committed a crime or supposedly committed a crime. So until the day the judge says that you didn't commit this crime, you're an animal. A drink of water is like a brownish, like a brownish tannish color. The shower itself is disgusting. There was different types of molds and funguses growing on the shower, out and around the shower. It's just trying to dodge that so you don't catch any infections or rashes, which is almost inevitable in that jail. You're going to get something.
By the way, so do you see all of these reports, the copies that are playing in the background? The reason I bring this up is because one of you was asking the other day, one of you asked about specific instances where you can find out stuff on Stephen Stearns, where you can find out, you know, who made what, like Ashley's trial, the ballerina, you know, how can I find out if Richard Allen, I believe was the main question, like if Richard Allen had any incident reports. So what's going on? Almost all jails run very much the same in America as far as incident reports go. Like if anything happens, a report has to be filed. And it's to the point now because of the amount of issues and injuries to COs and inmates where there's always someone filming. Some guy, one CO got a lot of flack for filming an incident where guards were heavy-handed and obviously like hurting the person. And they caught flack because people were like, this man's holding a camera and not even helping. But it is literally part of the insurance for the prison, like literally their insurance company, I mean. But it's also for the protection of the inmate or the CO. Like almost every single prison and jail right now makes somebody there to film. If you're transferring an inmate, if it's, you know, especially if it's like a violent offender. So you're going to see on a lot of, if you ever see like the up close version, like where we saw the guy yesterday being attacked at the IDOC facility, there's a guy holding a camera filming that in addition to the security cam in most instances, especially when there's hella IA investigations, like when there's internal investigations going on into the way a prison is ran. This is why you always see a CO now holding a handheld camera. It's because they are filming. And in addition to that, An incident report is written up, typically in medical, typically by every single one of the guards who is there, and sometimes by the inmate, especially if they file one. Also, thank you, Miss Shorty, for 5 Oblivious Benson memberships. You guys, thank you, Miss Shorty. Thank Miss Shorty. Miss Tolly, that's what I'm gonna call you. In my head, it's just so funny to me. Like, if you would be super tall, that would be hilarious. It'd be hilarious. Miss Tolly, she's so kind. She's very generous. We love her. And go like her channel too. If you guys haven't seen, Miss Shorty's all over the Karen Reach It. If you're into the Karen Reach It, holy fuck. You're gonna love Miss Shorty's channel. She has a sick ass Australian accent. And she reminds me so much. You're gonna be, if you're not already, you're gonna be the coolest aunt. You're like the cool aunt who's like, I'll buy you condoms. I know you're gonna fuck. You know what I mean? Okay, I'm back. Hope I didn't miss anything too weird. No, you didn't. You didn't. There are a lot of lawsuits for Westville Corrections. Right now, Richard Allen is in a class action. Yes. And the class action lawsuits against prisons are insane. You can look them up. There are hundreds for almost every facility, not just prison, but jail too. There are so fucking many. It's crazy. So anyway, this guy, see this report? You can write to the prison. You could FOIA request. It's a FOIL. It's got all these different names for different things. But basically, you can do an open records request or a closed records request in some instances to prisons and jails to get these reports. Very few of them regulate them because the person's already, it's not like court records where some can be sealed and some aren't. You know, in some instances, depending on it really depends on the jail, but in most of them, they're actually more relaxed with giving this shit out. Like it's very rare that it gets denied. So if you do a records request for Richard, whoever was asking about that, you can also request any incidents that he has filed, and he claims he has filed, specifically related to medical issues, claims of malnourishment or mistreatment. Like you can do that. And that's what this guy did for his own records, or his lawyer did. And it's fascinating because, I want to tell y'all something else about the Richard Allen stuff that you might already know, but we'll get into that after. Let's finish watching. But the inmate complaints, you can actually say, I want all complaints for all inmates who experience XYZ. Yes, you're going to have to pay for some of this sometimes, like most of the time, just like a FOIA request. But you can get this information, and you can get it about damn near anyone. I highly recommend that if you haven't.
You're gonna get something. The night the toilets exploded was, we were just basically sitting around, and the toilets in every cell on the tier just exploded. About a projectile about 6 to 8 feet in the air, all over the walls, all over the cells, the ceiling, and it just began to surmount to about 7 inches high and float out of the tier into the bay area. Feces, urine, like a brownish green liquid, just about 7 inches from the ground, just floating.
I want to talk about this, Cindy. This is important. Remind me when this video is done. I'm actually going to keep your comment. I'm going to star it and we'll come back to it.
Forcing all of the inmates to like retreat to the table area. And like we basically sought refuge on those tables for about 30 hours.
I think this is
the stench was so bad to try to actually eat something, it would have been a waste. I mean, I don't know if you've ever tried to eat with a bowl of feces or a floor full of feces for that matter in front of you, but I wouldn't try it. Harsh prison conditions is an addition to the sentence that the court just gave you. Riverhead was not maintained for so many years that the problems that are going on in with the facility, they can't be controlled. They can't. And they could care less to control them anyway. I don't think anyone deserves to be treated that way. All right, we may be inmates, prisoners when we go in, but we're still human beings.
Okay. Okay, yes, exploding toilets are a real problem, especially for you, Dillhole, who poops every day. So let's come back. Hold on 1 second. Let me pull myself back up. Okay. Let me pull myself up so I can answer your questions. Okay, so I've seen this before when I binged JSP ages ago. I know it's crazy because I've had a whole playlist for pretty much any time there's a case your dad is interested in. If somebody's in jail, I make a playlist of what is the jail like? Pretty much, actually, no matter who it is. What is the facility like? What is the county like they're in? I go to the county clerk's page and I check what records are available for this person. I do a property check, a lien check, a criminal check, magistrate, be it civil or regular, anything with records. I should say criminal, civil or criminal, any records I can get from that website, I check. Then I go say, who's the judge they've assigned? And then I look up the judge, whoever's going to handle the case. What's the judge's history? Who do they know? Are there any conflicts of interest? I go to their Facebook. I go to their Twitter. I do the same for the victim. I do the same for the suspects. And then after that, I go, okay, who is their attorney? Let's go see what their attorney's history is. Let's go see what their attorney's like. Let's go read cases in Judy records that the attorney has fought in. Let's look at the history of basically everything the attorney's done. Like not just how the outcomes went, but let's see if we can get literature of the arguments made and whether they fell flat or they worked. How long is a person typically subjected to either, being in a jail, being in a prison, being in solitary, being on bail? Do they typically get ankle monitors if they're on bail? What is the ratio of murder per capita? Like, I have a whole list I go down. In fact, maybe I might actually update that list and add some things to it and make a research list sheet. Because I have a lot of thoughts on this. Now, I understand that there are people who will look at a case and they're like, I only want to see what the jury sees. This is fantastic. This is a great way to see what the outcome will be, right? Your dad likes to do that, but I prefer to do an all-encompassing search and do these things as far as looking up the backstory of every single person involved, looking into it on my own, not so that I can report it, but so that I can evaluate it that way. Because in my opinion, the jury is not always shown evidence that actually does fucking matter. A technicality can get valid evidence that gives you the truth, undeniable truth. It can get thrown out because of a technicality, right? So if you've got evidence, like if you've got a video of someone slitting someone's fucking throat, but it was obtained without a warrant, does that change the fact that this person is on video slitting this person's throat? Does it change the fact that they did it? A court might throw the case out because of that lack of warrant, right? And now you have a guy who fucking did it, walking free or waiting to be recharged. Now, there are laws on how long they can stay at a facility until they are recharged, if they're charged again. If there was evidence, let's just pretend, okay, hypothetically speaking, there was a camera on Karen Reed's dashboard and it's facing her. And let's say we see on this camera her and John getting in the car. They're both shit hammered. They start fighting. She leans over, she decks him. She breaks a glass, she starts cutting him up. Then she takes the car, she fucking backs it into a tree. He hits his head on the dash. She drags his ass out. She starts kicking his body. She gets back in the car and she drives away. And we see it all on camera, right? Let's say that evidence, the prosecution's like, we have this evidence. We're good. We're good. Fuck you. Bring us anything you want. Say whatever you want, defense. We have evidence of her doing the shit. Now, let's say they forgot to read her Miranda rights. And then they didn't get a search warrant for that video. All that shit gets thrown out. The jury doesn't see that. They can't argue it. The judge says, no, you're not allowed to argue this. Karen gets found innocent. Let's flip it. Did she still kill him? Did she? She did, right? She did. So that's why I don't just look at what the juries are saying. I like to see it all first, because inevitably there's going to be evidence in cases where someone is innocent and then they get found guilty. Inevitably, you're going to find why in that evidence. What was allowed in, what was kept out, right? Very important to me. This is why I do that shit. I said that I wanted to pause that comment or star that comment so that I could talk to you about something regarding it. Now, hold on, let me pull it up, because it's an important comment, and I'm glad you made it, Cindy. Cindy, I don't like what I've heard about RA's treatment, but it has nothing to do with his guilt or innocence. He was where he was illegally. Okay, let's talk about the legality of solitary, if that's what you mean. I just want to make sure you mean solitary, right? Hello, Melly. Thank you for the $1.99. We're talking Richard and Rex. We're talking jail. You feel me? But we're Melly, you're love bombing your dad, and I like it. Hey, listen, I'm very proud of you in your channel and how you've been operating, and I absolutely love it. If you guys want to follow Melly, they were having some issues, Melly, with finding your page. It's That One Girl Melly, right? On YouTube. So it's youtube.com/thatonegirlmelly, right? So if you guys want to follow Melly, you can even go just click on her name right now and it should pop up, and then you can follow her page. Thank you, Melly. You're the best. Okay. So let's talk about solitary real quick, and then I want to move on. So there's, in prison and solitary. Absolutely. So there's this thing called exigent circumstances, right? What did you mean, though? What did you mean? Okay, I want to make sure, because if you didn't mean what I think, I still want to make this point, because people have been arguing it. Hold on. Hello. Date's boyfriend's home. There's chicky nuggies in the fridge. Nuggies. He's got toys everywhere that K Bunz sent him, and he loves them. Cindy, can you tell me what you meant, though? So I just want to make it clear that, so people don't, you know what I mean? You can't click on her or go to her channel. It should make it so that you can click on her or right click and then, oh, fuck. Well, it's That One Girl Melly. We'll put it up under the description. Yeah, he never had a hearing. True. This is all true. I keep harping on this now. I have a good reason. I've been wanting to say this for a long time. My son is there. I can barely see through tears. It's out. What do you mean? Your son is where? In IDOC? Or in jail? Doesn't work that way in life, unfortunately. Step boyfriend's dad. Hi, dad's boyfriend. Oh, no way. My hubby's making a fried bologna sandwich. Wait, where is it? Where is it? You can after. Okay, so after the live, you can go like her channel. I want to get to. Hold on. So the solitary thing. Okay, that was what we were talking about. All right. So the solitary thing. When there's an exigent circumstance, or when there is reason to believe without a shadow of a doubt that this person can be a harm to society unless they are immediately fucking locked up. There are loopholes in IDOC. They're very complicated. Not IDOC, I should say, in Indiana. We will go over those eventually. I would really like to have Mel or like a lawyer to talk with us about this. Okay, here we go. The judge sent him to a max security prison for safekeeping without a hearing, and then he had no legal representation. Okay, yes, understandable. But I'm just trying to figure out what you meant when you were saying earlier. Look, okay, he was where he was illegally. So you were saying that he's, because I think we're saying the same thing. Like, you're saying that he was kept there illegally. He didn't have legal representation yet, right? So that's illegal, right? I just want to make sure. And then that same judge stepped down. Yes, absolutely. Okay, so we are on the same page. All right, so here's the issue. There are exigent circumstances where they do have, apparently, now how we feel about this, I don't know. People can feel differently. It depends on the situation. There are exigent circumstances according to Indiana law, that allows for them to determine whether someone is a risk to the public or not. And then it's kind of up to them on how they proceed, but they still have to read you your Miranda rights. They still have to offer you an attorney. Now, whether you ask for one or not, or whether they offer one or not, two very different things. But if it's denied, that is fucking with your rights, right? So when the judge did strip the lawyers, absolutely. I think that one of the big misconceptions with this case is timing. If you go through and you read every single bit of paperwork on every single court record, when you read it all at once, it looks like it happens boom, 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 right? Just back to back. If you look at the dates, it's a little different than what I thought. A lot of this shit is happening quicker than it's portrayed, I think, by the media. As far as him asking for a lawyer versus not asking for a lawyer, we've all seen the first 48, right? The second they ask for a lawyer, the cops are like, fuck, and then they're done, right? So whether or not he asked for one has been called into question. It's a big dispute. I would like to go through the process of what is supposed to happen legally. And then I'd like to take those documents from the prosecution and the defense and put them side by side and compare them for what one side says and what the other side says, and compare them to what fucking happened and what is illegal. And I think then you've been reading the docs since before he was arrested. I'm talking about, well, his docs weren't out until he was arrested. I'm talking about his docs, like everything that has to do with him court-wise. I'm talking Franklin. I'm talking the arrest affidavit. I'm talking about search warrants. We can even look at Ron Logan's and draw from that and apply it to Richard. Why did they look for this here and this here? Richard had a fuckload of knives. No one talks about that. He had a fuckload of knives. One of the things they were looking for at Ron Logan's was knives. There are a lot of things that we can draw from each, but it's not really going to help as far as why was he locked up and denied these things? Why was he mistreated? According to the defense. Simultaneously, is this true what the defense is claiming? People are saying he was in solitary for a year and a half before his lawyers reported XYZ, which is all illegal, right? When we look at the documents, I believe it's like a week or two. So I do think that a lot of it has been portrayed a little bit wrong. However, part of me thinks that they could have argued for much worse treatment in other angle. Like there were things that I saw as problems that weren't brought up at all. And there are things that I do think, waiting to see the evidence at trial. But my fear is either they do have the right guy, he's going to walk because exactly. You just stated my point. I don't even need to continue. That's the point that I was getting to. They shouldn't convict him or determine guilt or innocence unless they have all of the information. My fear is that they're going to not misinformation, like get misinformation. They're going to miss the information that they need to convict him because of these technicalities. I think that it's really important to take all three, because remember, there's three sides to every story. There's yours, his, and the truth, right? That's a favorite phrase. There's defense, there's prosecution, and there's the truth. The defense, their job is to find those technicalities. When they are, in my opinion, reaching for one using Odinism, which, again, I've said it before. I know some of you want to disagree with me. That's fine, but we will talk about it later. I have a little presentation for you on where the Odinism theory really came from. Because a lot of people are, it didn't come from the public. It didn't come from, yes, it did. The people who tipped it in the day the girls were found also posted it on Reddit. The police looked into it. They also posted that the police looked into it for them. Everything in the police files as to what they did with this tip, everything that we know that is written down, that is on record, coincides with that. People were pissed off that the police alibied someone. They alibied multiple people that were in the tip. Those people then contacted the attorneys who then went, hey, where is this shit? Or the attorneys found out shit was withheld from them and they said, hey, where is this shit? Either way, it's illegal. You should have showed us that you looked into this, because that could be a defense for Richard, and that is exculpatory evidence. Well, if it was debunked because it was alibied, it's not exculpatory evidence, right? Now we've got a lawyer who is an ex-private investigator, and I don't know if you know this, Rozzy was a CO. He was a correctional officer and a private investigator. Very fascinating to me, because almost every CO that I've seen in Indiana, and this is why I look into this shit, I look into the lawyers, I look into the judges, almost every CO in Indiana seems to be very fucking pissed off and didn't like their job. There are so many reports about how they fucking hated their jobs. They fucking had a horrible work life. They weren't paid enough. So we've got a guy who's an ex-CO, right? As the lawyer. This is kind of a perfect situation for Richard, isn't it? Makes sense why he wanted to keep the guy. So we've got a guy who's an ex-CO who knows how that system works. He's also a private investigator. So I thought, how good is he? Let's look into it. Doesn't seem to have very much. Didn't seem to work very much as a PI. And if he did a fucking piss poor job, in my opinion, of locking down his own shit. Like, this man has had 28,000 data breaches on his main account, which he posts public. I'm talking about Richard's lawyer. Posts publicly his private emails, which is so stupid. I'm sorry. I'm sure he's a sweet guy. He's got perfect teeth. So stupid if you're a PI and if you're a lawyer, frankly, and if you're like, it's just crazy. So you take all his email addresses, his business and his personal, you run them through. He's got some fucking wild accounts. He's got 28,000 data breaches. He has a history of defending child molesters, coke dealers, and murder suspects. And when you look at the cases, some of these people, it's obvious that they did it and they got off on technicalities. That worries the shit out of me. When you look at someone who has that many data breaches, it makes me think that they're not very skilled at digital shit, at the internet in general. They're not locking down anything. Then I made the mistake of going back and looking at pictures on these lawyers' Facebooks. And let me tell you something. If you want to see a lot of blood, if you want to see a lot of fucking animal savagery, a lot of, all the stuff that they gave shit to the Iowa kids for, all the hunting stuff, all the pictures of the headless, here's a head of an animal. Yeah, don't look into this lawyer. You're going to see a lot of that. This is a guy who knows how to hunt. He understands the woods. He understands deer blinds. He understands that area. I'm not saying he's a bad guy. I'm just saying he makes a lot of poor choices on what is made public, including there are pictures on there that are illegal. You cannot have pictures of things. I don't even want to say it. There's a nude kid, of his kid on his page, like pissing on fire. Like, who does that? There's shit that are like just bad fucking decisions. Don't put your kid's pee-pee on the internet. Don't show pictures of you holding a fucking headless deer, and don't have a fuckload of breached accounts, and then sit here and tell us, that this guy is a great lawyer with a fantastic history of everything he's done. Like, I'm looking at all of his cases, and a lot of them are technicalities. I don't think the lawyer did anything at all. I just think he makes poor choices. It does not surprise me at all that the evidence photo got leaked. That's the whole point. It'd be one thing if he had a stellar reputation, a clean background, he didn't have any breaches, and he worked hard to keep shit under wraps. He did a good job of protecting evidence. This guy can't even keep his fucking Facebook under wrap. Like, he needs to protect his shit. I fully believe it was negligent of those lawyers to let those pictures get out from that crime scene, especially when you look at how well they protect their own shit. It really freaks me out. It really freaks me out. Now, they're not bad people, but if you're telling me you're a PI and you have a fuckload of data breaches, you're not keeping anything in check, and you seem to have no history of success, you're not a very good PI, in my opinion. If you have a history working at a Dairy Queen and you're taking a case about the corruption at the Dairy Queen, totally makes sense why you'd be a good choice of a lawyer, right? But if you're somebody who has been told, hey, you let some really bad evidence get leaked to the public, and there are text messages of this situation going down that don't make all the people on Richard's side look too good, you better hope to God that your shit's on lockdown, and it's not on lockdown. His shit is public as fuck. He's got material I would never allow on my Facebook at all, let alone post it. It doesn't surprise me that this shit got leaked, and I do think that in that case the judge was right. I do. I'm sorry. Yes, his lawyer. And so when people said that, and I don't think it's not guilty because of that. I'm just saying a lot of people were saying, hey, well, Bob and Allie think he's a good lawyer, so he must be great. No, stop listening to what people think and go look yourself. Don't even listen to what I'm saying. Go look. Go look at these people's backgrounds. You feel me? Everybody. The judge is fucked too. The judge is fucked, dude. He's fucked. I mean, what? Go. They all, yeah, here's the thing. Prosecution's got not too bad of a history. The other judges and people he worked with, Judge Fouts, all these motherfuckers are crazy. You know? Yeah, people really fucking love RA's lawyers. I don't know. I'm not a fan. Looks like a family man with nice teeth, one of them. The other one kind of looks like a bit of a dipshit. All I know is when you piss off so many employees that you're constantly posting that you need to hire a new receptionist, the reviews are all about how bad the reception is. So he's got a bunch of people surrounding him, these lawyers that are doing a piss poor job at upsetting every single person that calls in, every client. The only reviews he has are one fake and two bad ones. There's just, I don't know where this he's a great lawyer comes from. Like, I don't know why. I mean, yes, I see the accolades. I see that on his page. But when you look into the actual cases, a lot of the shit that he pulls is technicalities and conspiracy theories and internet theories and tips from strangers. It's just, he doesn't seem like that amazing. You know, he doesn't seem like. The reason I'm bringing this up is because a lot of the technicality hinges on the fact, for Judge Gall anyway, one of the reasons that this whole shit happened and went to the Supreme Court is because of the poor choices on these lawyers to let this evidence get leaked. You did a bad job. This evidence was leaked. And then everybody was like, that's not right. This judge is corrupt. This judge is corrupt for other reasons. That was actually one of the good calls. Like, the fact that crime scene footage was leaked, yes. And I don't know if they should be disbarred, but they should definitely have a strike on their record. If your kid was murdered and crime scene photos were leaked directly from the attorney's office by a pissed off employee, would you be okay with it? And not only that, a man killed himself over this. A man lost his life over this. How are they not sanctioned? How? It really worries me. I'm very worried. I think one of his lawyers makes a lot of poor choices. I think allowing this shit to get out was one of those. And I do think that was a problem. Now, where Richard Allen's being kept, also a problem. However, see, this is rumors. We don't know that. What have they leaked? Because we have people admitting to a leak in the defense. Even the defense eventually admitted. We have text messages that have been leaked by the defense about the leak. What is the prosecution leaking? Very interested in that. I'd like to know. There are all of the Nick leaked to Fig and Murder Sheet. No, they didn't. No, he didn't. I know who leaked to Murder Sheet. I don't. No. I don't think so. I do think, though, regardless, let's say you're right. Regardless, whoever leaked, there were leaks. That's a problem. The judge acted upon it with a heavy hand without explaining, and that was fucked up. There are that the ex leaked to that ex-FBI. That's why she had the F tree before anyone saw it. No, that photo was sitting on a table in the lawyer's office, and an ex-employee came by and took a picture with a cell phone, sent it to someone else who leaked it to someone else. The person who leaked it blew his fucking brains out. Blew his brains out. And yes, this was back in the beginning, but that's not how it happened. And the guy was ex-military. And his funeral shit is all on the internet. And then wasn't leaked by an employee. No, it was an ex-employee. It was someone who they were disgruntled and there were issues going on. And they took it and they leaked it to a guy who is out of the military. I believe he was in the Air Force or some shit. He's a ginger dude. And it's a problem. And frankly, I don't care when they were leaked. Like, they shouldn't have been leaked. They shouldn't have been leaked, and they were. And people died over it. Yes. Yes. There's like, yeah, they're deleting, not leaking. Exactly, Tiff. It's a lot. It's a lot. Evidence was not fucking secured. Whose fault was that? Because that photo was taken of a photo sitting on a desk in that lawyer's office. That is a problem. That is a problem. Sure, there could have been. But did the lawyers have an employee take a picture and leak it to the public? Yes, they did. That is a problem. That is a problem. Sorry. I mean, it just is. This case is fucked. And regardless of whether he's guilty or innocent, there is a chance, regardless, that he will get off on a technicality, and that's terrifying. That's terrifying. Yeah, I'd like to see proof of that, though, because I have yet to see any proof of that. And I've been in this since the day it happened. And I've spoken to people who spoke to the leaker, who worked on this whole situation, like trying to figure out who it was. Fucking me and Uncle Alex have been on this shit. I'm telling you, the defense really fucked up. They did a piss poor job. And then the judge fucked up with how they responded to it. Goal sucks. The defense sucks. And frankly, the prosecution sucks for not offering to, or at least everybody sucks here. They should have taken it out of state. Yeah, exactly. Also, it's not. But the reason I believe, in my opinion, was because they were trying to prove the stupid Odin theory. And in fact, I fully believe that, and I will find the text messages and show you why. Dude, the LE sucked because they let this fucking guy, they had the tips at the beginning, and then they went 7 years, right? Before, like 6 years? How long was it? 7? They've had it since that day in 2017. They knew this. He's on the fucking, what do you call it? The broadcast. He's on all that footage. Like, they had all of this. They've been fucking it up from the beginning. Yeah, it's not only the defense. Right now, I'm just telling you why everybody's acting like the defense is innocent and they're being mistreated. No, they're not. They're all fucked. Every single one of them are fucked up. And they're going to ruin this case if they're not fucking careful. All of them. All of them. Oof. Lost digital evidence. Absolutely. I mean, they lost the fucking tip of the guy who did it. Yeah, the sticks arrangement. Here's another thing. No. It's so stupid. So stupid. And the F on the tree. Give me a fucking break. There are a million crime scene photos of that same fucking looking stain on other areas where crimes have happened in the woods and people are wiping their hands off. It's hand wipe. It's pretty much what it is. But hey, let's turn it into some fucking, let's ruin ruins for fake Vikings everywhere. But anyway, Here's the thing. It's so fucked and there's so many layers. It's going to take forever to get through it. I'm just telling you, we're going to go step by step. We're going to go step by step. I'm going to show you guys some stuff. We're going to talk about if a person is going to be a good private investigator, a good lawyer, a good whatever their job is, and you look into their history and you find that they're making poor choices. If you work in intelligence and you're not being intelligent, this can say a lot about how well you do your job. It is so surprising to me that people are willing to jump to conspiracies on a weird Viking religion instead of just looking at precedent with shit like the F, right? Like, what? The amount of murder victims who have had sticks piled on them. There's a lot. There's a lot there. I mean, even West Memphis 3 was chewed on by turtles, and they tried to accuse 3 little boys of cannibalism. It's crazy, dude. It's crazy. Yeah, it's really crazy. And I'm telling you, like, the bar is really fucking low here. And if they can't even hit that, I don't know what's going to happen. But it's wild. Yeah, there were too many cooks in the kitchen. Absolutely. She was offered them. Did she get them? Did she look at them? Does she know that they're real? Does she know who sent them? I was also offered a shitload of pictures. I looked at them. They weren't real. I said, haha, these aren't real. And that person didn't speak to me anymore, but they went to every single podcast to do it. I'm just saying. Yes, there was mention of a vehicle and a guy. Yes. There's all sorts of shit on the police scanner that people are just ignoring now. People are still arguing over whether there were items of clothing found. It is on the scanner, them finding the items. Kelsey, the sister, went step by step and walked everybody through how that day went down, who found the bodies, what was found, and people just totally ignore it and they blame her. Still. Because they are so hell-bent on Richard being innocent. We just need to focus on, is he being treated right so that he doesn't get off on a technicality? Not what... That does not equal... Being treated poorly does not make you innocent. Sorry. Also, doesn't make you guilty. It's just, why are we even... Why does that have anything to do with them mistreating him? Because it could allow him to get off if he is guilty. That's bad. That's bad. Very intense today. Very intense. I was on the police scanner that day too, by the way. And I have it and I'll play it for you guys. If you guys want to hear it, I'll play it for you. I told you how your dad picks up high traffic stuff and plays it. I had a program going where it would just pick up the highest traffic and just play me whatever was going on. Now it is ratioed. So if you have a community with 10 people and 5 are listening to the scanner, that's 50% of the town listening. That's going to bump it up. That's essentially what happened. This is a small town. They never have more than 4 people listening to the scanner. There were 7 or 17. So your dad's there listening and all of a sudden, what happened? And then boom, turn it on YouTube. Reports of these girls. And I was here in Texas doing... I don't fucking know. I don't remember what I was doing at my desk. I was just fucking around. I think I was writing jokes. And then I was like, what? Yeah, we'll go back. I'll play it. Exactly. Yes, Calamity. And the judge fucked up. And also, holy Christ, thank you for bringing up Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Absolutely. Security and safety at the top. All right. So I do have to go soon. I'm sorry. I have to make this short, but I got to go soon. Here's what I want to show you about Rex. And then we're going to go, and then I'm going to post some stuff for you guys. I'll put it on the community wall. Tomorrow, we're going to be way bigger. You're a nurse. Oh, my God. I love that woman doing. I can't believe you brought up Maslow. That's perfect. Yes. There's a hierarchy. Self-actualization. Love that. Love that shit. Okay. I am going to, tomorrow we're going to get more in depth on a lot of this stuff. Mainly, I wanted to show you Riverhead show you the prisoner's experience. I understand it's not in the facility, but I just wanted you to hear how shitty it is. Because you guys were asking what's it like where Rex is. There you go. We're gonna put up scanner shit for you. We'll do scanner tomorrow, okay? Because I need to go put it all together. It's in parts. It's every 30 minutes downloaded. The thing that I wanted to show you today, I'm just going to put it on the screen. I'm going to read you this paragraph, tell you a few thoughts, and then we're going to get on out of here, okay? And I want to say thank you again to K Bunz if you're in the chat. Thank you so much for the toys. Mookie's absolutely loves them. All right, so let's peep this. You guys can hear me? One's in the chat if you can hear me, because sometimes I put this up and it does not let you hear me for some reason. That's another new thing. Okay. Can you guys still hear me? One's in the chat if you can hear me. I just need one and then I'll know. Okay, excellent. Thank you, Clem. All right. So I bring this up for a reason. Remember a long time ago when I was talking with Melody? I don't know if you guys remember that, if you saw my interviews with her. Bless you. Bless you. Bless you. He's going to do 5. Bless you. Was that 4 or 5? Excellent. All right, he did it. Anybody else? Yes. Jesse, that's it. This is important. So we were talking about trucking and people were saying Rex wasn't a trucker. People kept saying that. I said, yeah, but you don't have to be a trucker to fuck around at truck stops. The reason truck stops are popular for serial killers are not just because they are truckers, these serial killers, but because, especially in small towns and counties where there is no, there's no blade, there's no track for sex workers, especially prior to 2007, 2010, around 2007 to 2010 was when the crackdown started happening. Prior to that, the place to pick a lot of them up, especially in small towns and communities, was truck stops. Now, we've openly talked about how not all truckers are bad. There are entire networks of truckers that they are joined in groups who focus on how to look out for sex workers that are missing, how to look out for girls who are being picked up, who to contact. They have codes. There were actual magazines for missing women that are part of a trucker initiative. It's wonderful. They're very helpful. There are others who are beds. They're bad pieces of shit. And they use their trucking as an opportunity to hunt, essentially. If you saw Killing Season, you saw a lot of that mentioned. There are truckers against trafficking. That's what it's called. I think that's what it's called, right? And there's old forums that we can go through that are very helpful for OSINT on cases prior to that time frame I talked about, where the truckers go on forums and talk about women they saw or situations they were in and how, like, I reached out to so-and-so and I hope they're okay, like stuff like that. So this is also important if you know someone who's missing back then or you have a case from back then and you want to see, did truckers see anything? It's a very, very big deal, and it's very important that we have them. Just like hotel workers can be the front line for whether or not an establishment is taken over by traffickers or if it's a place where traffickers are busted. It's really all about how they're willing to help and cooperate as a worker. The trucker stuff fascinates me too. I've met so many who are such good people who, work in that industry, women as well, who are fantastic at like spotting stuff like this. So I remember arguing with people, not arguing, but getting into little tiffs about this, where I would say, like, listen, the blade, the track, it's not always a street. It can be a truck stop. If your town doesn't have a fast a fast growing big city booming in the time frame after your Vic went missing, and there's nowhere before, then you want to look at truck stops. So I was harping on that. A lot of people gave me shit. They gave me shit about the boat too. Who's laughing now, bitches? Anyway, and the duck hunting. I said, is there a hunters club? Multiple people, creators told me, no, we don't have that around here. I said, I don't know. I feel like he'd be part of a hunters club if he was into hunting. It's what they do. They love that shit. No, there's none here. Now all of a sudden, fucking duck hunter club. There you go. There you go. So here's another one I want to throw out there. This isn't I told you so. I'm sorry. It is. Your dad likes to toss these in once in a while. Investigators already, and this is Mary Murphy, she's bae. She has a line in. She's always right. Investigators already alleged that Rex Heuermann made dates with some of the Gilgo Four, the original victims discovered on Ocean Parkway, through online escort sites. I will show you those sites as well. I will show you the exact ads from all of them, or most of them, if you haven't seen them yet. But they believe others were picked up on the stroll, which is also the track and the blade. The stroll is an 80s term. 90s and above, it's the track, and then it becomes the blade, i.e., where the strippers are. Or not the strippers, the sex workers. But they believe others were picked up, as in the police believe others were picked up on the stroll, the track, the blade, locations where sex workers would solicit clients. Investigators have also learned of a disparaging name that was used to describe sex workers who frequented truck stops and parking lots. When they say have learned of a disparaging name that was used, you understand? They are speaking in the context of Rex Heuermann. If you read the whole article, which I'm going to link, it's about Alicia Adams, one of hundreds. This was just posted a week ago. One of the reasons I always thought this is because of what Mary is saying right here. Lot lizards is the phrase. That is the nickname. All right. One of y'all got it earlier. I put it up. Lot lizard is a mean, condescending, rude term for sex workers who inhabit truck stops. It's because they walk around parking lots trying to ask if they can get into trucks. It is a way of hitching a ride. It is a way of doing business. It is also one of the most common ways that, or it is the common way. It is the way Robert Ben Rhodes picked up almost every victim. Same with multiple truckers who have been found to be serial killers. Was it Jesperson? I believe he was one. Anyway, when a serial killer is caught and then you have data, be it a journal, an online post, anything. Yeah, not the same as lounge lizards. It's a lot lizard. It's specifically a disparaging phrase for sex workers. When you have a serial killer that you find has a history of using a term such as lot lizard, this is very important. One of the reasons it piqued my interest is because I had someone, and I'm not going to talk about who. I'm not going to share this with you guys unless I'm sure. And I'm also never going to share it unless I'm sure that I'm pretty positive now seeing this that investigators have it. But there are about 2 or 3 people actually in hobbyist forums, if you will, aka the sex network forums where they rate and review these escorts, who frequently uses this term. And they happen to be in discussions on the Long Island escort sites and the old bigdoggy.net sites and shit like that, or Big Doggy. They happen to use not just this term, but they also converse in the entire situation involving Amber Costello. They discuss mistresses, specifically dominatrix. And I told you guys, I've been on the look for all these years, like, one of these guys, I do think Rex has accounts. I do think he does in these quote unquote hobbyist forums where they review the sex workers. All of the accounts that I thought could potentially like 50-50 be him, all of them use that term. They also all discuss hunting. They could all be him. I don't know. But I definitely, this confirms for me 2 things. Number one, I do think that he is discussing some element of this, maybe not his kills, but of his hobbies online. He obviously pulls posts from offline to meet the girls. So I do think that he discusses what he does online somewhere in a couple of forums. I do think that this opens up a whole new avenue for the public. I mean, a lot of people, like, some people already think this. Fair enough. Cops are saying they're not putting any limits on it. But I think this phrase, just the fact that he used lot lizard, means we should be also focusing, if not already, on women at truck stops who go missing. He would absolutely, and I've said this before, just like Israel Keys, a lot of people thought that, you know, obviously the way he was talking to the FBI, he looks like a braggart. He looks like a guy who would do that, right? And people thought Israel Keys didn't. Yes, he did. He commented on news articles under the name Izzy. Like, he's like, these people do that. I think that the fact that we haven't had any victims thus far attributed to Rex, legally speaking, in court paperwork, that were picked up at truck stops, yet lot lizards is a term he has used. This makes me think there are some from his past. So I would encourage anybody who is looking into this stuff just for funsies on their own, I don't know, just because you're nosy, keep an eye out for missing sex workers from 93 to 2021, missing from truck stops in or around Rex's area, the Vegas area, the Washington area, specifically like Renton, Aberdeen, because of his brother who did own land there. Oh, absolutely. Dude, Israel Keys, I mean, I FOIA'd everything on him. It took so long to get. It cost so much money. Finally got it. It was very disturbing. Done. End of story. And then all of a sudden I saw it on the internet, and I think True Crime Bullshit also requested the same info and got it. And I'm pretty sure, did they put it all up? If they did, you should run to that channel. Oh my God. If they put up the interviews with the teachers and shit, that shit is wild. I couldn't believe they gave me that. I was like, Jesus. Basically gave me the insides of Israel. What's going on here? Did True Crime Bullshit put it up? They should put it up. I think it was a List podcast that had a post or something that he was suspected to be him. Like the show Big Sky. Oh, I don't know about that. I'll have to look. Keys is a boogeyman. He's a piece of shit, dude. So all these dudes, and also I want to look at Keys in relation to Lauren Spearer, even though I know people have talked about this. They had to have. There's no way, because of the truck thing. I'm very interested in that. And I'm very interested in, you know, not necessarily, I'm still, Maura Murray really bothers me in relation to him, Keys, and like 6 or 7 others, and a Rhode Island serial killer, and Neil Falls. Even though Neil Falls focused on specific women, I don't know. There's just some things there that are weird. Just got home. I'm going to need to rewatch because this sounds interesting. Oh, it is. Keys interviews are one thing. Miss Shorty, does True Crime Bullshit have everything up? Because they sent me all the video from Voya. So if True Crime Bullshit, I believe I've seen in Reddit that people said that they were posting video. If they post all of it, holy fuck, you guys. Get ready to learn so much about Keys. Wild dude. Wild dude. He chased a woman through a fucking cemetery right before getting caught. And a lot of people were like, oh, he didn't, it's not that he had a pattern necessarily, but he did have bouts of, burn a church, rob a bank, kill. Burn a church, rob a bank, kill. Like, they weren't in that order, but they happened. And then he'd plant a bucket. And a lot of people would deny that, but I do absolutely think it's there. Yes, I have. I've spoken to him a lot on Twitter. I actually need to get back to him because I wanted to send him something to see his thoughts. I believe that if and when Rex is convicted and his DNA is allowed to be entered. Yes, I agree. I agree with you, Cindy. Cindy, you're very smart. This is a good point. And I can't wait for that to happen. And they better fucking allow it, because letting those 3 fuckers who chopped people up out on bail was insane. And I do think that I just hope no technicalities ruin that for us. I don't think they will. I cannot wait for shit to be ran through CODIS. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. I'm 95% against it, but there's still part of me that is bothered by a couple of things, specifically the truck that was stalking the area leading up to it. Because also he did rent vehicles, and there's an interesting rental on his record in an area close to Bloomingdale, or not Bloomingdale. What's it called? I can't remember. What is it? Bloomingdale? Indiana, babe? Bloomington? Bloomington, yeah. Is it? Yeah, I don't know. Bloomington, yeah, it was Bloomington. There was a rental there that was weird. I don't think Keys. Did I say Keys for Mora? I don't think Keys has anything to do with Mora. I'm wondering about Rex now, but we'll go into that too. We'll go into why too. I just got home. Oh, hello, Melly. I found it so odd that he was worried about his daughter, and that was with his girlfriend Kim. And also that actually that wasn't even so the son. So here's the thing: there was a son who was, I believe, the girlfriend's his wife. Sorry, he had a wife, and then he had a girlfriend named Kim, the nurse, right? The wife he had was from an area around Nia Bay, and she is a native person who has a son that would help Israel with his work. Wasn't his kid, it was like his stepson, if you will. And then he had a daughter with her. And she had some addiction issues, bless her heart. And he had custody of the daughter, but he would see the son, and the son, his stepson, if you will, even though he was no longer with the mom, would come with him sometimes to work and stuff. And what's really sad is I think that kid might have killed himself. And so, yeah, I just want you to know, if and when we do ever talk about Israel, one thing that is 100% off topics is the last I'm ever going to say about it. We're never going to talk about that son, and we're never going to talk about the daughter. It's just not going to happen. All I'm going to tell you is the daughter is living a fantastic life. She's a fantastic person. She is literally thriving, killing it, and she's a fucking asset to society, and unfortunately just has to share his name. I feel my heart hurts for his ex-wife, and it hurts for his girlfriend, who all seem to be good people. So, we will never touch that, but just know that, there's info out on them that nobody had any idea. And yeah, it's wild. It's really wild, but we will talk about it. I actually need to see if they got the info on Keys and Belize for murders I'm looking to. Also, you need to be careful with him on the traveling, especially if it was anything involving a boat. If it's a cruise, be careful, because he would, from what I'm to understand, he would, you know how they board cruises and then you can leave when you're at a destination, then you have to get back on or you're going to miss the boat. I believe I'm 50-50 on this. I think he might have purposefully missed the boat at times to throw off his timeline. Very interesting stuff. He had a daughter only that was his by blood, but he had a stepson, and that was with his first wife. And he was a good kid, and he was a teen when the shit went down. It affected him very, very badly. It's very sad because he did look up to him. Now, his daughter is his daughter by blood with his first wife, and he had custody of her. And I do think that they're fairly well protected and good, but they're good people. Yeah, family should not suffer. How you doing, Dad's boyfriend? He's in his Weird Al Yankovic t-shirt. He's looking like a snack today, ladies and gentlemen. He's looking like a bit of a snack.
When I wear large shirts instead of extra large shirts, everybody's always like, "Wow, you've lost weight."
Yeah.
It's like, no, I'm just wearing a large shirt.
That is a good point. You guys ever wear a large shirt instead of an extra, like a size down, and then people go, "Ooh, you look like you've lost weight." He's a victim of that. He's a victim of weight loss conspiracies. Yeah, Tiff's photo is very cute. Tiff got good glasses. I got you, honey. So, yeah, and here's another thing about Keys is like, a lot of people you'll see in the comments on the videos of the original shit. Hold on, let me open this. You'll say, wait, can you let him out? Does he need to go out? Sorry. Oh, he did?
Just went to the corner and stopped and looked and doing
By the way, I'm about to make an announcement to Dade's boyfriend that he doesn't know and that you don't know, and you're all about to find out. We got 2 baby foxes in the backyard.
Hell yeah.
They ran towards the neighbors down or I guess north earlier. Paula saw them. They were the cutest things I've ever seen in my life. Mookie's thought they were chew toys and wanted to go after them. But he's a good boy and he stopped. Yeah, okay, let's go back up. Got a little more time. Yeah, it's a good scheme, right? I'm gonna start wearing a size down in the shirt. People are gonna be like, you got another lump. I could see him missing shit on purpose. FBI is missing some exits of the country and only have him crossing the border back in. Yeah. So that's the thing is he was all about every form of destination travel. He also researched serial killers. You know what's odd? Israel Keys, what's his name? Evidence, the cop who killed up in that area. I believe it was South Carolina, maybe, or Maryland. Evidence, Keys, him, Bobby Joel. Like, there's just so many different serial killers who studied other serial killers. And Keys was one of them. And you can kind of see, even though he wants to be all unique and random, you see some patterns there that are very, very odd. Very odd to me. He kind of followed a bit of the Barefoot Bandits playbook, in my opinion. But Barefoot Bandit was a teen boy in a fucked up situation. Weight loss conspiracies are hilarious. So Keys was 6'2" at 14 years old. Yeah, and he was in the military and he lived in Texas for a while, and his family, gosh. Dad's gonna pick up the microphone, light a cigarette, and step out for this one. Listen, his family, let's talk about it, because the family shouldn't suffer, right? However, while his kids, ex-wife, girlfriend, sure, all off limits. They're not, and honestly, the girlfriend and him were going through a split up. Like, they weren't even like that. That's kind of how he got away with a lot. They were especially with the Samantha Koenig situation. Oh, what is this? I saw a fox every time I was in labor except one daughter, and that time I saw an owl. Oh, fuck. If I go into labor, you kids better call the cops. Yeah, they all want to be special snowflakes and get gold stars. Who, the foxes? Okay, let's talk about that, C. Smith. Yes and no. Yes and no. So they were, I believe, in a way, but then something happened. Because do you know? Okay, I'll just ask. I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure out how to approach this. I don't want to be super offensive, and I'm actually kind of scared of these people. Do you know about Church of the Well? Just give me a 1 in chat if you know about Church of the Well. It's not conspiracy. It's real. It's in Texas. I've seen it. I know people have been in it. I know people who live right next to it. My ex-boyfriend lived next to it. He knows every single person in there. Do you know Church of the Well? 1 in the chat if you know who Church of the Well is. If you know what that is. Okay, we got 2 1s. We got a 2. Susie, you're going to learn something today. Ooh. 1's in the chat if you know about Church of the Well. 2's if you don't. If you've never heard of that, you don't know what it is. Yep. And we're going to talk about it. Okay, so a lot of you know. For those of you who don't know, Elizabeth, YouTube, AJ, you're not silly and you're not stupid. Okay. Church of the Well is a church in Texas. It is in East Texas, okay? It's a cult. It's a fucking cult, allegedly for entertainment purposes only. Oh, his sister, his mom, his dad, they're all in it. They're all in it. Now, he's got 2 brothers who seem to break away, who live on, or at least at one point they live in Maine off the land. They look a lot like him. They seem like big sweeties. They got away. I think he's got 1 sister who got away. Okay. Utah then moved to Washington State. Oh, no. Utah, Washington, Texas first. Texas for a long time. And he would come back and visit. And they didn't have electricity. They didn't have electricity up north, down south. Yep, East Texas again. Absolutely. And let's do this. And I'm going to share a page with you so you can see. So you see, I'm not bullshitting because this is fucking crazy. Okay. Let me pull it up. Oh, so Church of the Wells. Sorry. So this is in East Texas, right? Yeah, his dad definitely picked on him relentlessly. East Texas. So Church of the Well is it's almost like Quakers, basically. If you Google it, here, I'm just going to show you the whole fucking page. Let's just look at the whole fucking page so you go see what I see. Here you go. Okay. Dr. Phil takes an inside look at Church of the Wells. Family warns others about Church of the Wells here in Austin. Church of the Wells in trouble again. Houston. Texas street preacher describes days inside Church of the Wells. Catherine Grove leaves Church of the Wells. A fundamentalist East Texas church bought a sawmill, Church of the Wells. These are all searching for souls in the wells. Dr. Phil exposes the cult that some say is masking itself. It is legit a trafficking cult. It's super fundamentalist. It's LDS. It's Quakers. It's Southern Baptist. Imagine all that mushed together. Okay? Their thing is we don't need electricity. We're basically Alaskan bush people in Texas in the heat. Now, the thing about Church of the Wells that's wild is the leaders of it and the main family that now pretty much, I mean, historically, they've got 2 to 3 families running the shit, right? One of those families is the Keys. Yes, Israel's dad and mom and sisters. Okay? Oh, yes, absolutely. Everything. It's Warren Jeffs. It's everything. It's Big Love. It's all of it. They also love to go. Yeah, you would think they're different. Imagine a cult where they're like, oh, you can be brainwashed. Come here. We'll brainwash you. And they make up their own rules, but they take parts of all of it. They will claim, depending on pretty much who they're trying to recruit, they'll claim different religions to get you in through the door. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you grew up, what was the one? There was one girl who was Jehovah's Witness. You're going to be perfect here. Here's what we're about. Oh, you grew up Quaker. You're going to be perfect here. Here's what we're about. Oh, you're Southern Baptist. Like, it doesn't matter. They pretty much are one of the most fundamentalist religious groups in Texas. They do thrive on ambiguity. They take part. LDS, right? It's all about Joseph Smith and shit like that, right? It's all about like, this guy, he found this book. You're going to hear trumpets. We get it. Those are all traditions and they're in every religion. Church of the Well kind of made its own. It takes chunks from each of them. But I'm talking a cult that's like, you're not allowed to cry. I'm talking a cult that's like, hey, listen, women are for this. Yes, co-opting a bunch of people's beliefs, taking them in, making a cult, and just making it like, I mean, seriously, it's very much like Calvinism. I wouldn't even, so it kind of evolved out of Waco, but not really, because it was already there. And here's another thing. There are 2 serial killers from Oklahoma who also were part of this religious group. Church of the Wells extended into Oklahoma and Louisiana, right? So these brothers who were serial killers, they were Keys' best friends. All right. So it's more than one serial killer has come out of this fucking cult. Their big thing is they like to come to Austin and they like to go to 6th Street and they like to go to festivals and they like to kidnap people and bring them into the cult. Also, one of you brought up the Jordan. Yes. October 2016, a young outreach minister named Jordan Reichenberger alleged he was drugged, kidnapped, and indoctrinated by members of Church of the Wells. Drugging and kidnapping is big on them, and they like to do it in a way you wouldn't expect a cult like this to. They send some of the hot teens out, the young 20-somethings, to go to the party, go to the concert, go into that Whole Foods, all right? Tell them to come hang out in this van. Oh, there's a van with hippies and they're all taking acid or they're all smoking pot. You're going to party with them. And then they drive you back to East Texas. And now you're here. They also use the internet. There's so many different ways they have expounded into a territory that is unlike any other cult I've ever seen that for some reason didn't like electricity for so long. Now they're fucking grooming kids on the internet. They got no quit, you guys. Yes, they have a manifesto. If you go to the cult, it's a honey trap. It's a fucking bees in the trap, you guys. Bees in the trap, bees in the chat. I'm telling you, these motherfuckers are weird. It's East Texas, breeds a lot of weird motherfuckers. If you're from there, I'm so sorry you have to put up with this shit. Not everyone there's bad, but there's a lot of bad in the woods there. This is Israel's fucking family, dude. This is Israel's family. Remember how, I don't know how many of you guys are super into him, but like researching him, you know how everybody was like, hey, he had a great work ethic and stuff, but he fucking was not into God, and his sisters were trying to bring him to Jesus, and he was laughing in their face. Like, these are the sisters. Okay, these are the people. Oh, will you open the door for him, baby? Bye, Moogies. Yeah, these are them. And I hate using Wikipedia, but fuck it. Let's look at what Wikipedia says, because you can pretty much, an issue with Wikipedia and cults is that the cults will often go in and change the information. So that's fun. Many members are young adults and children, and then Keys' mom and dad pretty much run a lot of the Bible study there. So I don't know, would you trust your kid to be raised by the people who raised this year? I understand it's not always the parents, but goddamn, don't babysit my kids. If you raised a serial killer and then you let your kids hang out with two serial killers, two kids who grew up, what are the chances the same cult has so many serial killers in it? It's fucking crazy. Yeah, in this cult, we're not going to fucking make you do that shit. You don't have to go recruit people. But these people take it a step further. They hide people, and they use religious doctrine to skirt around the law. See, look at this. So this one, I guess Morris and Rignald, whatever their name is, they started in Waco. All right. They left, and then they founded Church of the Well. So in a way, you could say, yeah, branch from Waco. I mean, this is a really crazy. So it's a Protestant Christianity within a fundamentalist branch. Their manifesto, however, distinguishes them from the remainder of Christianity. I mean, we're borderline Westboro here. Okay. A Calvinist view of theology. See what I say? See what I said? And Calvinist theologians, people can go into, you can leave that open. People can argue about that all you want. Some people think that Calvinism was more of a Quakerism. Some people think that it's more of like a religious fundamentalist Baptist. Like, it doesn't matter. It's all the fucking same shit. And they exclusively use the King James version of the Bible, but they also have a separate version. If that makes sense, where they're like, but not these pages. Every once in a while, you see one of them toss a Toby into their rhetoric, which is a Catholic thing. It's very odd. So, dude, I know someone who grew up in Children of God. That shit's crazy. We'll talk about that one day. Yeah, so check into this further. This is family. And if you go to their website, which we're not fucking going to, but we will sometime. If you go to the website, you can see they have bios. His family's in that. Not all of them, but a bunch of them. So that's a little something about Israel Keys you might not have known. Church of the Well, the church that's still actively being accused of kidnapping and hiding kidnapped kids. Like, there are missing children who became teens. They aged out of their kidnapping. They took off with the cult at 15. Parents searched for them. They were actively missing. Once they hit 18, they confirmed, yeah, I'm here. Fuck off, mom and dad. And the police can't do anything now. It's fucking wild. So yeah, I hope you guys learned something today. Look into that. Everything I said is alleged, supposedly, and fucking my opinion only, and for entertainment purposes. Please don't sue me, Church of the Well. They also have a lot of fucking money, which is terrifying. They have like many buses money. Like, they don't just have one bus. They have so many buses. It does sound LDS-ish. It absolutely does. It's very mega churchy, but they live in a shitty compound in the woods. That's what I'm saying. There's so many little elements pulled from everything. It's very crazy. I love you guys. All right, I gotta go. I gotta go. I gotta hang out with the Mookies, allegedly. I love you guys so much. You're the best kids ever. Within the hour, you're gonna see new prints at the SnoopyDupa store. Some of them are very funny. This is the funny batch. If you were waiting for the funny, unhinged, maybe even NSFW, some of it, if you're waiting for the fucking feral package, I think that's what I'll call it, the feral pack. It's coming tonight within the hour. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much. You have a great night. I'll see you tomorrow. God bless. You're in a cult. I'm your dad. Don't join this one. It's spooky. I love you. You're the best.